they count the Devils. I didn't see the Devils in here because they did Islanders, Rangers. They may have included the Devils. I don't know. But 100 seasons is a lot of heartbreak for New York fans.
Yeah, that really is. And I'll tell you what makes it worse is how good some of those Boston franchises have been in that time. The Patriots have been the dominant football for a lot of that. The Celtics have been good. The Bruins have been good. The Red Sox have won some championships. I mean, that's probably got to hurt the most is that in a lot of ways, well, not a lot of ways, 100%, Boston has become a better sports city than New York.
Simone Biles wins the U.S. Nationals all-around. She's going back to her third Olympics. You talk about mental health all the time. She got the whirlies at one point and could not compete in her last Olympics, and she was very depressed after that. She has battled back out of that, and now she is back on top of her sport and going to a third Olympics. That is rare for a gymnast.
Yeah, we're going to be rolling out 4 different podcasts on mental health and mental awareness, and one of them is mental health in sports. And so really looking forward to that. But, yeah, it is amazing, like, for her to go back and forth in headspace and still be able to dominate and be that elite. Like, I saw her fall yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it on SportsCenter, but it wasn't on the beam. Might have been on the
vault.
Might have been on the vault. But she did not stick the landing. She fell backwards, and she still dominated yesterday.
So you're saying she had, equilibrium issues?
She did. I think it was in Beijing that happened.
Yeah.
And then, she couldn't compete, and everyone was like, well, that's, what a dark moment in her career.
Well, and people were, criticizing her.
How can she not go out for her team and battle through it? Well, if you're spinning through the air and you don't know where
where the ground
bottom is,
right? Difficult. Do you want your pilot flying you? Is he tapping out on the team?
I would have taken the day off, no doubt.
But she's battled through that and has come back. So, all right, softball and baseball continuing today as we get closer and closer to SEC Media Days. LT was at ComicCon. We'll get that up on our social media platforms and give you a taste of that coming up. But we're about to drop Kristen Saban, that interview here at the top of the hour, in a last call version with LT, his really long, in-depth conversations with people. And just for the people that will, here in a few seconds, go and watch your interview with Kristen, your takeaway. Have you ever been in a room with her before? Have you ever had an extended conversation?
Her and I had gone back and forth with some DMs. I had never met her outside of Regions this year, and that's when she apologized. She went through a situation where I'm sure people know about it. We really didn't get into that. I asked her before, I want you to be comfortable with this, and she was pretty much comfortable with everything. But there's some interesting things, no doubt. Yeah. But I thought she was very laid back, very open, and seemed like a really cool person.
Yeah. So Kristen Saban with LT, part of the last call, dropping here. First place it'll drop is YouTube, right, Forrester? On our YouTube channel, right where you're watching this right now. If you're picking this up on a different platform, if it's on Instagram, Facebook, or X, Twitter, go over to our YouTube channel. If you're new there, like and subscribe and follow us there. If you're listening to us, always check out our video platform where you can actually see the show and a lot of other great content, including the Kristen Saban interview right now on the YouTube channel. That's our show today. 82 days away from football. This is the next round. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we're live now on a Tuesday. I wore a hoodie up here thinking I try to figure out our temperature.
Good luck.
Right? And in the summertime, we get really cold sometimes, but not on Mondays. So I came up with a hoodie earlier today, and the hoodie matched the hat. The golf shirt doesn't match the hat, so I am black and blue with a red logo.
Yeah, I mean, I was really nervous
if
this was going to come up.
Scott's already said three things.
I'm glad you addressed it like right out of the chute. Yeah.
So that's not the biggest problem we got on the show. The biggest problem we have on the show is, can this guy make it 3 hours with this voice? Let me hear it there, Adele.
You know, I think I have over the years, so we've been doing a show, 14 years together?
14 years.
And you guys lose your voice, I don't know, maybe once a year?
Maybe.
I used to lose it once a year when we were over at our old job. I have never, ever lost my voice over here.
I'll knock on it for you. But I never, and I think I told you guys, I was like, that is so weird. Like, I've heard of people, it happens all the time. It has never happened to me. I had a slightly sore throat when I picked the kids up for dinner last night, but it was like a 2-hour sore throat. It was really weird. It went away, and then this morning I woke up and...
This takes me back to when we first started a show with you. Thursday shows started out like this because you were coming off Odie's.
Oh, yeah,
I remember that. You would sound rough as a cob.
Well, that's because we were out late.
I'm aware.
It was a smoking venture.
And smoking, too. Yeah, I remember one time you were like, Brown, you want to know why I'm talking like this? Smell my phone. And I smelled your phone. It smelled like an ashtray.
Smell my phone?
No, he did. I'll never forget that. He's like, smell my phone, Brown. And I smelled it. It smelled like you had ash cigarettes on it.
Yeah, so
like you're Charlie Hall in the US
That was an
Women's
example
Open.
of just how bad the smoking was inside this one joint.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that story about that Charlie Hall girl? Yeah, I know y'all didn't.
No. I did not.
Rockstar. Google image search Charlie Hall, U.S. Women's Open. So she's a British female golfer.
Was that the one out of the trap?
No. This has nothing to do with her actual golf.
Oh, okay.
She has also posed for, she takes advantage of her look and has posed for some, again, I got no problem with this. It's who she is. But she was...
That's big time 20-degree rule or whatever
So far it is.
Google smoking, Charlie Hall smoking. Rockstar.
She smokes cigars?
No, she smokes cigs. Oh. And... She
where's she from?
British. She's British.
So it's a fag over there, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's what they call it. Yes, very uncomfortably. So she made headlines. Rockstar's pop-up situation kills me every time.
Wait, she looks like Jim Leland with a ponytail.
I know. She made headlines smoking cigs.
That looks photoshopped. It didn't look
no.
It's
100% true. I've seen the video.
I just now see the cigarette.
Yeah.
How can you see it? It's like Puff the Magic Dragon.
That's not real.
No, it is 100% real.
That's not real.
Yeah,
that's not real.
I've seen video.
That's not real.
Right. Why would y'all say that is not real?
Pat McAfee would show this on the air, make a comment, and have to apologize the next day.
Scroll down, Rockstar. Scroll down.
That's not real.
Why would you say it's not real? You think somebody photoshopped her smoking a cig? Now hit play on that video, and you tell me that's not real. She's got the cig in her mouth. She's signing autographs.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that hot rock. I kind of agree. I still think it's AI.
No, it is not AI. She's smoking, and they ask her about it.
My God.
No, this is crazy, though. They ask her about it because it became viral. Like, everybody's like, you just don't see a whole lot of women fire one up on the course like that. And she said, this is so weird. I'm trying to give up vaping, so I've started smoking. And I'm like, wait a minute.
People started vaping
I
to
know.
stop smoking.
This is like
vaping.
New generation, man.
It's like popcorn lung. That's a big fear for people.
Oh, no. I don't think vaping is without its issues either, but I've never heard of anybody going actually back to the cigs to get rid of vaping.
Yeah, I might take popcorn lung over iron lung.
Wait a second. Did that say at John Daly vibes or something like that? Because that's what I thought of.
Because she's smoking.
Making John Daly proud, golf.com.
Keep scrolling down, Rockstar. See if they got anything else.
Boy, I hope she really succeeds on the tour because she strikes me as somebody's got a really, really messy loft.
I don't know.
She's 28 and smoking a cigarette indoors, it says.
Because she won't stop vaping. And I'm like, I've never heard of this in my life. It's the first person I've ever heard of.
Oh, and you can't smoke indoors. That's a problem. Most places won't let you smoke indoors. They let me vape, but they won't let me smoke indoors.
Oh, I know. And then vaping is, vaping, again, not without its issues.
She had more success than Danica Patrick, right? Two-time winner on the LPGA.
That's right, yeah.
Danica never smoked, though.
You don't
I
know
bet
that.
she did back in the day.
Yeah, that is not AI. That is legit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy way to start the show today. We'll get into all the big headlines that are happening, including my constant defense of Patrick Murphy, legendary softball coach. But then something happened yesterday on the way to the postseason. His former star recruit from Trussville has hit the transfer portal.
Oh, dear.
Kinley Cahalan.
Huh?
Am I saying that right there, Forrester? Kinley Cahalan? Kinley Cahalan, who is she rips the baseball. Doesn't really hit for power. I think she has 9 home runs in 2 years, it says on the screen there. But she is a vacuum at shortstop. Apparently big recruits are coming in. I don't know if a shortstop recruit was coming in. It seems odd that Kinley Cahalan is hitting the transfer portal, but we'll keep an eye on the ever-changing love-hate relationship between Alabama fans and the only softball coach I can remember in Alabama softball history.
Yeah, you watch more than anybody I know.
Yeah, I don't even know who the first coach was.
You can't name the first coach. There's only been 2 coaches, right?
Right.
And you can't name the guy.
I think he was the top assistant on the first staff and then replaced very quickly. He became the guy. And
Pat Murphy did?
Yeah, 15 World Series, only 1 championship, and he's losing one of his biggest recruits.
You told me the moment you thought everything was going to change for her. You just told me before the show, like the moment you thought, she may hit the portal.
Well, I was on the golf course, and Forrester texted me. He says he is pinch hitting for Kinley Cahalan, one of his best hitters, in the 7th inning with the game on the line, down 6-4.
So he pinch hit for her in Omaha.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, in Oklahoma City.
So that was the death knell.
You thought that was it.
Oh,
yeah.
Forster's the one. Forster quickly texted me and Kyle Parmerly.
Yeah.
And what did you joke? What was the joke?
The game hadn't even gone final yet, and I asked, is she in the portal yet?
I think she might have been. It's got in her mind, apparently.
She got pinch hit in the 7th, and Forster was already joking, how long until Kinley Cahalan's in the portal? Well, the next day.
Well, didn't you tell me she hits 290?
290 batting average, which is really good in softball.
Yeah. Man,
But she's the Omar Vizquel of soft. But she's basically a wall at shortstop, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, she's in there for her defense.
I don't know. I mean, she hits the ball well, doesn't she, Forrester? Rips it. Just doesn't hit a home run. She just hits hard line drives.
290 seems like in baseball 220.
No.
She doesn't have a whole
opposite.
lot of help around her, though, in that lineup.
Oh, really?
She's that's one of the best high school hitters I ever covered.
So, Scott, 290 in women's fast pitch. Compare that to a Major League Baseball batting average for Lance. 320?
Yeah, that's
I guess that makes sense because you've got a pitcher that throws
it's harder to hit,
innings.
right?
Yeah. And smaller field. And
Well, what kind of NIL do you think they can get?
that may be the problem. I don't know. I saw on her as I went and checked her out. She has Kinley Cahalan T-shirts for sale as an Alabama softball player, and they let you use the Alabama logo. Her jerseys for sale. So
She could probably, I would guess, like go to. You say she's from Trussville?
Yeah.
She could probably go to Trussville and do like a hitting clinic or a fielding clinic and sell the crap out of it, couldn't she? So she's probably only limited by what she wants to do.
Yeah, she does that already.
The
question to me is, does she end up at Oklahoma next year?
Oh, I don't know.
Does she end up at Florida next year?
Was she struggling in Oklahoma City? I mean, was there a reason he pulled her?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just a feel thing for him?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think she's the fastest player.
Oh.
So maybe looking for speed to get one runner on, to get the tying run at the plate, something like that. I don't know. I wasn't coaching the team.
I tell you what, this girl must be great in the field. Y'all talk about it like she's got one hand tied behind her back everywhere. Like, can't run, can't hit.
Baseball finals.
Does she smoke?
That would get her in the first segment, right? The Sweet 16 is set for baseball. Evansville pulls the upset yesterday.
Who'd they beat?
Oklahoma, I believe, right?
Nope.
UConn beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, UConn beat Oklahoma.
UConn is in the Sweet 16.
I can't believe UConn's got a good baseball team. How do they have a good baseball team?
UConn's in the Sweet 16 and Evansville's in the Sweet 16.
They beat East Carolina.
Yeah,
which that's a good, don't let the name fool you. That's a really good baseball program, East Carolina.
But when you think of Evansville, you think of what?
Wearing the T-shirts, playing basketball.
Purple Aces.
Purple Aces, T-shirt basketball. UConn is there. Evansville plays Tennessee. Oregon State plays at Kentucky. Oregon plays at Texas A&M. West Virginia plays North Carolina. North Carolina beat LSU 4-3. Florida is at Clemson. UConn, Florida State, NC State at Georgia, and Kansas State at Virginia. So what is that? 5 SEC teams possibly still a chance to make it to Omaha?
And I have always heard the excuse from Big Ten, It's just tough to really play winning baseball when you can't start really playing until April.
Yeah, bad weather.
Think how many bad weather schools you just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, in freaking UConn, they've got the worst of it. Yep.
Oregon State, Oregon,
Yep.
West Virginia,
Yep.
UConn.
Yep.
Kansas State. Really.
And Kansas State, yeah.
Yeah, I never really understood that. But I told Dunaway, back in the day, Jack State, just because we were in the South, used to get some bigger name schools that would come south to play just because they knew the weather was good. I mean, to your point, if you want to do it, you can do it. I mean, look at UConn. Are you kidding me? What kind of investment do you think UConn has in baseball? Like, I bet you their high school stadiums around here better than UConn's baseball.
I mean,
stadium.
when you watch a game in Stores UConn football, it looks high schoolish.
Yeah.
And you now take that all the way down to baseball.
I'm going to look up their baseball stadium. I will bet you there is a baseball stadium that's a high school stadium in our area that's better than UConn's.
Okay, you work on that while we get rolling. 1 o'clock.
Needle haystack.
Oklahoma and Florida.
Turns out I'm wrong.
Plays today in softball. Oklahoma and Florida. Florida pulled a major upset. Oklahoma had won 20 straight World Series games, and because 3-time defending national champs, trying for a four-peat. So do it or die game today. Oklahoma, Florida. Winner goes home. A winner goes to the finals. Loser goes home. 1 o'clock today on ESPN. Texas beat Stanford. So Texas, who is the number 1 overall seed, awaiting the winner there. So that's what's happening today and this weekend on the Diamond. One more baseball thing before LT tells you about Lanyas. Adam Duvall, right? I think that's the Braves player that does this. Adam Duvall, do you like it in the outfield when the players, like at Mississippi State, when I was over for it was a super regional with Stanford. I was over in the outfield, and the Stanford guys would come up and they'd get a piece of chicken or a hamburger from you during pitching changes, and they'd talk to you while their team was changing pitchers. The visiting outfielders would, and the Mississippi State players would too. Do you like it when pro players engage with fans?
Oh, absolutely. It's what it should be.
I think this is Adam Duvall with the Braves. Out at Truist, they've got a beer can stack out there in the outfield. And watch Duvall. They're trying to get him to throw and knock it down. One toss, and he's able to knock it down.
That's terrific.
They don't want him at the fair.
Look at that. Boom. Pow.
He'd take home the big teddy bear, wouldn't he?
Now, some pro athletes wouldn't have done that.
No.
Because they'd be like, if I miss, I hit somebody in the head, I'm going to get sued or something like that. One more time on the toss.
Oh, that is terrific.
I love that.
That's a pretty long toss,
Boom.
too.
Yeah.
You think you think the folks at Truist that are promoting responsible drinking? It's like beer pyramid in the outfield.
Or the poor soul that's the Braves front office guy that's over like liability insurance. Like, oh crap!
You remember they used to have, and they might still. I just remember it was a big deal for a lot of churches. They would go to the family picnic area of the Braves game at Fulton County.
Yeah, I remember there was that one section,
and
family section.
It was no smoking, no drinking, no cussing.
Yeah.
Tell us about Lanyas. I got one more crazy baseball thing, and then we'll give a thought on Nick Saban, Urban Meyer going in on the same class of the College Football Hall of Fame. Should it happen or shouldn't it happen? All that still to come in the opening segment.
Hey, welcome back, our friends at Lanyas Furniture. They believe in getting more style for less. Lanyas offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, entertainment, as well as mattresses. Lanyas can also help with your home design and decorating. They've got a 3-week event coming up, store-wide savings driven by hot buys with price and products to play on the summer theme. Transfer your home into a beautiful escape with new furniture and decor pieces, from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Lanyas has got everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Get $300 in Lanyas sleep credits with sleep mattress purchases right now, or select financing is available from Birmingham. Take exit 280 off of I-65. It's the Hallmark Farms exit. Go south on U.S. Highway 31 for 1.3 miles. Lanyas will be on your right. Call the guys today, 205-647-4311.
Are you in any pain, first off?
I'm not in any pain.
Okay, hang on.
You hand off any read to me that I need to do.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to help.
I'll probably hand them all off to you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you aware of the Yankee roll call guy? It's a little bit like what you just saw right there.
No, do we have video of that?
No, I saw it on TikTok though. It's an old boy sits out in right field at Yankee Stadium, and it's kind of cheesy, but it's a lot. So right as the game is starting and the Yankees are in the field, he's got this nickname he calls every player, and they yell the name till the player acknowledges them. And he literally goes all the way around the diamond. Like, they're out in right field, and whoever's playing third for the Yankees, they're yelling his name until he holds his glove up, or like Aaron Judge does like that. It's actually pretty cool to see the interaction. I was unaware of it. I didn't know they did that at Yankee Stadium. They call it the Yankee roll call.
Every game.
Every single home game.
And one guy yells or the whole section
One
yells?
guy starts it and the whole section yells.
Okay.
And like, Aaron, and then there's Judge, turns out they cheer and go crazy.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next guy. And so the whole first inning, they're going around the Yankees lineup, and I don't think they do the pitcher.
That's very European.
Maybe not the catcher.
It is.
Very European soccer.
Yeah, I
like
know.
that,
I was surprised by it. I didn't know they did that. It's called the Yankee roll call.
Okay, on this day in history, and I think this will engage with you guys. 50 years ago today, on June 4th, 1974. Now, listen, sports used to be a lot more crude, and you had to do things to get people in the stands. On June 4th, 1974, the Cleveland Indians, it was a Major League Baseball team before the Guardians.
Right, I've heard of them.
For you kids out there.
Yes.
Had 10-cent beer night.
Oh,
10-cent
crap.
beer night 50 years ago today.
What is that on inflation? Do you know?
I don't know.
find it.
By the way, this is back when 19 and up could drink.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It did not go well. 25,134 fans drink 65,000 beers. Three times more than that size crowd drinks today. A 10-cent beer. It resulted in not only a brawl on the field between the teams, but also with the fans coming out onto the field, where it was a massive brawl. Indians were hosting the Rangers. It got so bad, guys, that the Indians manager was fearful. Look, this is part of the brawl right here. The Indians were so fearful, the manager was, that the fans were going to hurt the Ranger players, that he ordered his team to get out onto the field and and defend the Ranger players with bats. So the Indians got bats and went out and defended the Rangers. They ended up calling the game. The umpire said, this is ridiculous.
Probably a good call.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Forfeit, Rangers win.
So to put that in perspective, on this inflation calculator I have, it says that 10 cents in April of 1974, I don't know why April was the month, I guess it's the last month we have numbers, is about 65 cents in April of 2024.
Oh, wow.
So that would be like 65-cent beer night. Do you know how many beers you would sell at 65 cents a pop?
I think 25,134 would beat the 65,000 they drank back then.
I wonder if Guinness recognizes the most beers consumed during a sporting event. Because
That would have to be.
If you put that on, I bet today you could break it if you really promoted it the right way.
65 cents.
Probably would end much like that, but
Yeah. Fight on the field. I mean, it was a different world back then, Like, it'd be hard. I don't know. I guess if that many people tried to storm the field, you couldn't stop them. You just never see that anymore. Like, it seems like you see that a lot in the 70s. Like the Disco Inferno night.
Yep.
Yankees win the series. Field's just full of fans. I mean, it was a different world back then.
I know. We talk about the way fans act now.
Yeah.
We don't rush the court and fight the pro players like they used to in the 70s.
We really don't. I think we've
Yeah.
cut that out. Yeah.
I think the pro players have gotten bigger, by the way.
Well, I would not want to, like Aaron Judge. I just mentioned a moment
Yeah.
ago. Would you want to fight Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
That guy looks like he could kill
Like you want to run on the court and take a swing at LeBron?
Yeah, I really don't. He's
Yeah.
a big guy.
My now official 5'11" body running out there to try to take on little Steph Curry, who happens to be 6'3".
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The headline, Tribe fans riot on beer night.
Yeah. Umpires forfeit game, Rangers win.
that
so it
was
was a
their
forfeit.
highlight of the season, wasn't it?
It probably was. So it was a forfeit. They didn't just delay it and play it tomorrow. They just said, no, Indians, you created this issue. You're going to lose the game.
This week in baseball, 12 notes, 10-cent beer nights goes wrong.
Did you kind of like when they had a rain delay on a Saturday broadcast where you'd have Mel Allen?
Yep.
Oh,
this
yeah.
week in baseball?
Yes, and then sometimes they would, like the Braves would always go back. It looks like we're going to be here for a while. Rain delay. Enjoy this episode of Andy Griffith.
Yeah, or All in the Family.
Or All in the
Yeah.
Family or something. They go reruns.
I used to like the old 12 notes when I was a little kid, like they'd do the San Diego Chicken part, they would show like 2 minutes of him screwing around. Or
I remember him getting sued. It was a celebrity game, and somebody was rounding second, and he tackled him and broke the ribs.
Yeah. Do you guys remember? Look at the old thing for 10-cent beer. Now.
You like the white dude with the
I do.
with the feather in the hair.
Is that culturally appropriate, Lance? You think?
I don't think so now, but
Why is there excitement coming out of the beer, and what about his head? Why is there excitement coming out of his head?
He's wearing a
in
leaf.
your story, are they able to reference them as the Indians, or do they reference them as the Guardians?
No, in the story, it was the Indians.
Yeah, it was the Indians. That's like if you talk about the 80s, it's the Redskins. That's who they were. Yeah.
Historical facts at that point.
So, do you guys remember Max Patkin, I think was his name?
He was the...
You remember him?
He would tour around. He was in...
Yeah,
he was in Bull Durham.
He would like stand behind the first baseman and mimic, like when he was throwing infield, he'd stand behind him and mimic all his throws.
Never funny.
Yeah. The first and it turns out he was telling the first baseman, "I'm back there the whole time." But they used to show that on This Week of Baseball too. I remember
all the time. One more thing in the opening segment. Our friends at Odie's bringing you the show today. Again, in our next segment, we'll get into Nick Saban. Does Urban Meyer deserve to go into the College Football Hall of Fame in the same class, or should they be separated? That's coming up in the next segment. Tell us about Odie's.
You guys tell us about Odie's.
I will. Hey, tomorrow night is Wednesday. That's when you get award-winning trivia at Odie's.
First of all, Cal Ripken would have done the Odie's read, but go ahead.
So,
do you want me to be here for 3 hours?
Yeah, I do.
I think Dunaway has to run me off.
I'd prefer to pinch hit for you and you not enter the transfer portal.
I've got a black hat on with a blue shirt. So
hey, Odie's, they've got that brand new venue in Edgewood. How'd it go, Rockstar, playing the concert there? Great stage, right?
Yeah, it was a bigger stage that we went through. It was a fantastic, different audience. I had a 30-year-old birthday that listened to the show, and one of his friends was very nice and threw the cake on and went over the floor. So some barback got to clean cake up.
Yeah, that's always fun. It's the one in Edgewood is basically a replica of the Odie's in Crestwood. It's just a little bit bigger in Mountain Brook, right? It's just a little bit bigger. You can find both locations. Go get that Diablo, Rodney's Cheeseburger, great lunch, big cup cocktails, and trivia. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock there in the Mountain Brook location of Odie's Tavern.
Every one of our TVs down here at some point this morning at the same time had the Chennedy Carter, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark debate going on in the WNBA.
So stupid.
I could care less. I didn't bring it up yesterday, the hard foul. That wasn't that hard. It was inappropriate.
You think she flopped a little bit?
It was a flagrant one. It wasn't a basketball play, but I don't care.
But do you think she flopped?
But the only reason we care, I love how Angel Reese comes out, and it's not about just one player here. And, of course, won't mention her name. The only reason people are watching WNBA right now is Caitlin Clark.
Well, and it's become a race debate now.
Which is stupid.
And this whole thing. And
are they talking about it right now? They have got 5 people on the screen.
I was trying to watch Get Up this morning, and they were talking about it.
I'll tell you whose opinion I really want on this is Shannon Sharp, former NFL great that's on the screen right now.
He's the co-host.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you wanted viewers.
Look how serious they look.
You're wanting viewers. More people are paying attention.
Yeah.
And now you've got wrestling storylines. Don't be surprised by this. And you're going to bring a race into the debate and all of that. I don't care. I don't care.
I really don't either.
I love women's sports.
Yeah.
Softball is one of my favorite sports. I watch it every year. You know why? Because it's really good, and there's not a men's softball, fast pitch softball for me to compare it to.
But the only thing I would say, if this girl doesn't knock Caitlin Clark down, if this is somebody else, do we even see the video?
Nope. You don't even talk about it.
So this is about one player. These girls can be all petty and bitter and all that. The only reason people are talking about the WNBA is one player. It's Caitlin Clark.
There's no doubt about it. But now let me ask you on the flip side. If there were some new guy coming in the NBA in the 90s in the Eastern Conference and trying to take that league by storm, do you think Bill Laimbeer would put him on his ass?
Yeah, I would.
In a heartbeat.
I would assume it happened all the time.
It would have been a lot harder than what Chennedy Carter did on Caitlin Clark.
I would imagine
Bill Laimbeer would have tried to knock him out of the game, put him in the gold standard.
I would imagine Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, their rookie season, got bounced around a little bit in the NBA.
Michael Jordan did. Michael Jordan himself said, the reason I got great was the Pistons and the Celtics and all those Eastern Conference teams mauled me. Yeah. I was not strong enough to play against those teams.
I've got no problem with them getting physical and letting her know welcome to the league. But also, this is, to me, almost on a very, very small scale, what Tiger did for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I would agree.
Those guys all respected him. It doesn't seem like these
nobody's body Tiger.
I don't respect Caitlin Clark.
I don't want them to respect her. I want them to play her hard. That's what you should do.
But they need to realize
No, I don't want to give. I don't care how much money you're making me. I'm not going to let you get an easy pass to the basket.
Well, no, that's fine, but recognize the fact of what she has done for your brand. Yeah. You're still flying shitty flights with connectors if it's not for her.
Yeah, that is true. Lance is accurate on that one.
Yeah, I do not want them to let her breathe on defense.
She breaks an ankle, a wrist. Then guess what? Everybody's back turning the TV off. I watched for one half, and I had to turn it off anyway.
I was not watching. I've seen the highlights like everybody else. My bigger concern, where are her teammates? You got to come back up your guy.
Well, they were non-existent.
Yeah.
And by the way, and I know she's got a brand, but I'll tell you the quick way to who was the chick that hip checked her?
Shenedy Carter?
Shenedy Carter.
Caitlin Clark should have jumped up and grabbed the hold of that ponytail and held on for dear life. And I guarantee if that happens, they're not dicking around with her anymore.
Let me ask you this, though. You go back 10 years if you want to. If somebody bodied Steph Curry, you don't think Draymond Green was right in the middle of it? Love or hate Draymond Green, he was right in the middle of it.
I don't even think Isaiah Thomas's teammates liked him.
They hated him.
But if they fouled Isaiah Thomas hard, Bill Laimbeer would have punched somebody in the face.
Yeah. And if he didn't, Joe Dumars would have been in there. And if they didn't, Dennis Rodman sure would have been.
Yeah, Charles Barkley would have hit somebody.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But that's, we celebrate. I see both sides of it, but we celebrate the way it was in the 90s when Bill Laimbeer would do stuff like that. They made a whole 30 for 30 about it. But here it's like they've broken some sort of code. No, this is a welcome to the league. Now she is your meal ticket.
Yeah, but as everybody told me yesterday is on my social media feeds, WNBA is a physical league.
Okay.
They're always this physical.
Okay.
We're just blowing it up because
I can't say they are or they aren't.
The little rookie got checked into the ground.
I don't know if that's common or not. I have no idea.
Yeah. I'll go back. I want her to be fouled hard. I thought it was
that's a little different than
that was a cheap shot.
That was 100% a cheap shot. But you don't think Bill Laimbeer would have done a cheap shot on somebody?
Yeah,
of course he would have.
Rookie, I'm here.
And he would have gotten applauded for it.
Yeah. But let's don't bring race into it, as we do with everything in our country these days. All right, when we come back.
Kennedy, I'm told is pronounced. We were pronouncing it wrong. So I do want to get her name right. Kennedy Carter.
At least people know her name today.
It's not Kennedy?
It's Kennedy, I'm told.
Oh,
yes.
CH makes the K sound.
Yeah, Kennedy.
It's simple.
That's okay.
Third grade English.
Hey,
there you go.
You know what?
CH makes the key.
They're not
sound.
making a ton of money in the WNBA. If you're that girl, nobody knew your name before today. If you go to your sponsors and you're like, hey, I'm going to get this deal. I'm going to knock down Caitlin Clark. I'm going to get interviewed. I'm going to wear your logo every interview. You could make some side cash.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kennedy Carter for Land O'Lakes Butter. That's why I went Land O'Lakes Butter.
I make opponents sweat by knocking them around. I'm Kennedy Carter for Old Spice.
Hey, I'd respect the play.
With lavender.
I'd respect the hustle.
Way to Wellness, helping you lose a little bit of weight here in 2024 if you choose to do so. Maybe you want to get some health-saving numbers in line. Cholesterol, blood pressure. I was talking to a coworker up here. Actually, the coworker was sharing with me the other day his cholesterol numbers a little higher than he wants them to be. He's trying to change it with his diet. I recommended Way to Wellness to him. Why not go and let Leslie and her board-certified team help you out? Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. All you have to do is go to the website at planforme.com, and they'll let you have that free consultation. Also, no contracts. You can stop anytime if you don't like it, or you can absolutely find out that there's no cookie-cutter plan. They'll design that plan specifically for you. Way to Wellness is your journey to healthy living. Again, that website is a planforme.com, planforme.com. Way to Wellness, great folks down there. Help them or let them help you get in shape here in 2024 before football season rolls around. Nick Saban, first ballot Hall of Famer, pretty sure. Should Urban Meyer be a first ballot guy with him? That is next on TNR.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Before we talk about two future Hall of Fame coaches, the college football list that came out yesterday included Aaron Donald and Manti Te'o and Mark Ingram. Ingram will go in, obviously Heisman Trophy winner, national championship winner, and so too with Te'o and Donald. Just if you forget, Manti Te'o, Maxwell Award winner, Walter Camp Award winner, Butkus Award winner, Lombardi Award winner. Aaron Donald, if you think he just did it once he got to be a pro, Lombardi Award winner, Nagurski Award winner, Bednarik Award winner, Outland Trophy winner. That those are high resume. Ingram, Manti, Aaron Donald, easily into the College Football Hall of Fame first ballot. Their first time.
Yeah, here. Ingram, great player, national championship, wins a Heisman Trophy. Manti Te'o was a runner-up for a Heisman Trophy as a linebacker.
I voted for him. I had a Heisman vote then.
You caught a lot of hell for that.
I did. Well, not until after the BCS championship game. Well, no, the BCS championship game, really, when he looked very pedestrian, which he did. I will not deny. Alabama made him look terrible in that game, like they did all of Notre Dame that day. But I voted for him. I asked people, when people criticized me, Lance, I said, all right, answer this question. Is Notre Dame playing for the national championship without Manti? And everybody's like, well, no. And I'm like, the guy's a middle linebacker. Yeah. And you just said they're not in the national championship game without him.
And I know Mark Ingram saved Alabama, what was it, 2009 against South Carolina, I think?
Yeah, he went Wildcat, yeah.
Yeah, but Manti Te'o was an incredible college linebacker. And that's still a great documentary that makes you actually sympathize with Manti Te'o about the whole girlfriend thing. Aaron Donald, the reason he went 13th overall to the Rams, he was viewed as a little undersized. People are like, he's just not big enough. He's not going to be able to throw offensive linemen around in the NFL. And
turns out speed matters too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But both of those guys, 100% are in.
Okay, we'll get into the Saban, Urban Meyer, both Hall of Famers. Should they go in together? Both are on the ballot after yesterday's release. After LT tells us about the Inverness Country Club.
Brown,
I'll handle that, Lance. Listen, Inverness Country Club, a place we've gone and played and really, really enjoy it. And you can find a great sense of community at Inverness Country Club. You know where it's growing very, very quickly? Among young couples. If you're a young couple out there looking for a golf home, tennis home, swimming home, Country Club Home Inverness is a great place for you, so much so they provide childcare. This is a huge plus. You and your wife on a day of golf or tennis, they've got childcare. Drop the kid, go have a day to yourself on the court or on the course, dinner with friends, and you know your kid is safe and right there on site. I've seen their facility there. It is a gorgeous facility. The pool is great. The course is great. The tennis is amazing. The people that are there are just fantastic people. Listen, just set up a tour today. You can call Aaron at this number, 205-991-8608, 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com. That is iccalabama.com. Inverness Country Club, a great place for your young family.
Great read.
Thank you.
All right, so Nick Saban and Urban Meyer both on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot at the same time. Nick Saban easily...
Oh, it's no-brainer.
Easily. I mean, he's
both of them are no-brainers.
Winningest coach of all time.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer is too.
No-brainers.
My question is, should you separate them or should they go in together?
I think you could separate them because the criteria that gets coaches in keeps a lot of coaches off this ballot, so you could easily put Urban Meyer in next year. I just hate to say that because I think if you look at the history of football, there is zero doubt Urban Meyer is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't think
three-time national champions,
Yeah,
two
I
at
mean,
Florida,
no
one at
doubt.
Ohio
There's
State.
no
so.
doubt.
Why would you release these guys in the same year?
I don't know because this is the first year of Nick Saban's eligibility. I don't know why Urban Meyer is just cycling around on this.
Yeah, and even if it was Nick Saban's first year, I probably, if I'm putting Urban Meyer in this class, wait till next year. I don't think Nick Saban's going to be like, damn, you know what? I was eligible for that.
Yeah, I mean, do you
But
think...
this is just a ballot, so this hasn't been voted on yet. Okay, there are 77 players, 34 coaches.
But everybody's going to vote them through, but they're still going to be on the same year to get in, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm asking here. Should they go in together, or should you, if you're voting, say, I will do Urban next year, it should be Saban this year? Because if you're Urban Meyer, I'd almost want my own year.
Yeah, but you can't not vote Urban Meyer first
that's
ballot
right.
Hall of Famer.
That's my point.
That's why he shouldn't have been on the ballot together.
Well, but why is he just now getting on the ballot? That's what I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know why he's just now getting on the ballot. When's the last year he coached, Urban? 20
last year in college.
Yeah.
However,
Ryan
Day's career, minus back to Urban
2020, 2019.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while since he's coached. Really, I mean I guess they were just waiting to make sure he's actually finished coaching. Now he's been in the NFL since then, obviously, but I guess they were just waiting to make sure he's done with college coaching before putting him on the ballot. That's why he's just now getting there. But there is zero doubt he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Have you seen some of the coaches that have gone into this Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah.
Urban Meyer is a first ballot guy.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind.
That's why I don't think you can deny him.
Yeah, and there is something about being first ballot, right?
I think so. Yeah, not having to wait. Yeah. Like I'll see if I can pull up the coaches, and when I give you some of these coaches, you're going to be like, oh well, yeah, he's 100%.
Well, I mean, it's a College Football Hall of Fame, and I think Pat Dye's in.
Paul Johnson is in.
Paul Johnson.
I'm just going to give you some of these names, and these are recent names that have gone in. Mark Richt. It's hard to find people I respect more than Mark Richt.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer in before Mark Richt.
But again, the Hall of Fame needs to be for elite coaches, and neither one of those guys is an elite
Gary
coach.
Pinkel. You respect the heck out of Gary Pinkel.
He shouldn't be a Hall of Famer, though.
Bob Stoops. Stoops is a really good coach. Urban Meyer's a better coach.
Bob Stoops Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but Meyer's better.
Yeah.
Dennis Erickson.
No, it should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Meyer's better. Frank Beamer. Meyer's better.
Be a Hall of Famer.
Mac Brown. Mac Brown's still coaching, and he's in. So I don't understand why this is an issue.
Some of those guys shouldn't be Hall of Famers, though.
Danny Ford?
No.
He won a national championship at Clemson. Basically, you won a national championship, and you're in this thing.
Is Larry Coker in it?
He doesn't. The problem is
he didn't win enough games.
There's winning percentage, which I think would be okay with Chiswick.
It's why
I do
Mike
think there's
Leach,
an amount of games you have to win, though.
Yeah, Mike Leach is I think, one win short or something.
Well, that shows you how amazing that is that Gary Pinkel would be on that list.
Why so?
Winning percentage. If Mike Leach can't have a better winning percentage at all his stops than Gary Pinkel at Missouri.
Yeah. Mike Leach is not in for something. He just
it's winning percentage.
He missed by a game.
I think you've got to be 55% career winning percentage, I think is the cutoff. I'll see if I can find that because I'm going to give you another one that if I say his name, you're like, oh, 100% this guy is a College Football Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Smuff correcting is saying Saban got immediate eligibility because he announced his retirement. Urban is eligible because he's 3 years removed from coaching. I guess Urban didn't come out and officially say he was done.
Yeah, well, I guess my point is Mac Brown is still coaching. And he's
That's right.
So what does that matter?
He retired and came back.
Yeah. Back to our original point, should they go in together? I mean, how many great players go in together? So
yeah,
I guess
I got no problem with it.
Yeah, I do want Mark Ingram to go in with Nick Saban because that was sort of one of the early recruits that sort of got the Saban time in Tuscaloosa rolling on, right? So it'll be cool if they're at the event next December in Vegas together, and Mark Ingram and Nick Saban can share some laughs and photos and go in together. Urban Meyer, Nick Saban face-to-face, I think 2-2, right?
I don't think that's right.
So 08-09, that was a split. 2015, Urban got him in the Sugar Bowl college football playoff.
Maybe it is right then. There was a game in Tuscaloosa that Bama won.
Yep. I think 2-2.
I think the return to Florida was against Will Muschamp. Next year,
right?
Yeah, that is a shame.
Yeah,
right. For Lunsford to say leaked was 59.6%, and they're saying it's 60%. We round up on everything in life.
No, it was legitimately like, had he lived, there was very little doubt he was going to win the required games to get in there. The fact that he died while he was still a coach.
You put Ken Stabler in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Once he passed away. You can do this for Mike Leach.
Yeah, I think Mike Leach should go into the Hall of Fame as well. Later on this summer, they will vote on who actually goes in, and that class will be inducted in December. But Aaron Donald, Mark Ingram, Manti Te'o, automatic from the players list, and throw in Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, and you got a good list there.
What is weird is Mike Leach was 84-43, 47-33 at Texas Tech. Winning record in both overall in conference by a significant margin at Texas Tech.
He
was 55-47, 36-36 at Washington State. Winning record overall 500 in the Pac-12 at Washington State. He was 19-17, 11-15 in conference at State.
Boy, he just wanted tough jobs.
He had 3 tough jobs, and he's 158-107 career.
He'll get in.
I think he will too. And at some point, it's got to be more than numbers. You got to use your head a little bit. One more college football thing to tell you about this segment, but I want to send an alert out for those of you who already have enjoyed the Kristen Saban interview, and great numbers on that. We appreciate you all going to watch it, but if you have not, you can go listen to LT's interview with Kristen Saban, the last call. I checked it out last night. Took my son to the airport. He's in Europe for a couple of weeks with school at UAB over in Italy. And so I was, staying up to drive him down to the school for them to bus over to Atlanta to fly out at 2:30 this morning. So about 1 o'clock, I click on the interview and started listening to it. And the being the dad of a football coach like Nick Saban, I thought it was fascinating when you asked her about, do you think he treated you guys like he did some of his players? I'll let you go listen to the answer, but I thought it was an interesting question. Like, do you feel like he parented you like he coached his players?
Well, I think it would be difficult for somebody like Nick Saban that is around, 18, 19, 20-year-olds all the time, and he's got a way that he's got organization, he's got discipline, and to be able to separate that because it works so well for players, to be able to separate that with your own kids.
Yeah, early on with my kids, neither one of my kids like sports, play sports, or know anything really about sports. But I was raised and parented basically by sports. So early on, I realized I've got to do something different as a parent because the sports motivation for my kids didn't work. There was no running laps or yelling or, motivation. Come on, you can pick yourself. None of that worked. Obviously, you listened to her in the interview. That was the way Nick approached it as well. Go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe while you're there, and really good job by you on the interview. Really good job by Dr. B on his hair. I'll let Brownie tell you about what he's doing for Brown's hair.
Listen, for as little as 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, you can grow your hair back. That is not a big investment there, right? Dr. B, this is a guy that first of all, he's board certified. He's been doing it for years, and he's helping grow hair back. Now, many of you, when you watch this video, you're like, hey, Dr. B doesn't have hair. He's about to treat his own hair because Dr. B had cancer, and he's going through the cancer treatments, and he's going to start growing his own hair back. That's how confident he is in the systems he has. He will be his own patient. That's crazy to think about, right? If you're watching this on video, you're seeing the system that Lance and I use. Again, you can hide it under a hat. You can wear it on your head. Just 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, and you could start growing your own hair back. The great place to start is T3hair.net. Go see Dr. B, T3hair.net. Get that risk-free evaluation and let him see how he can help you. He's got so many, it's not cookie cutter. There's so many different systems and ways that he can help you grow your own hair back. T3hair.net. .net. That is our guy, Dr. B, for men and women, by the way. This is not just for men like me and Lance. This is for all you ladies out there as well. You got some hair growth issues? Dr. B can help you. T3hair.net.
UAB picked up a Minnesota DB, Tariq Watson. He is transferring in to play at UAB. Ole Miss getting North Texas wide receiver Jordan Smart out of the portal. So still people are going to play at Ole Miss. And then in recruiting, 4-star running back DeAndre DeSenior is going to West Virginia. That was some of the recruiting news from yesterday. We're 81 days away from week 0 of college football. When we come back, we unveil our 40 and 40 team. We're at number 27. Later in the show, Taylor Tannenbaum from the ACC Network joins us in 1 hour right here on the show, brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It's our friends at Bud Light. Go enjoy them this summer by the lake, by the beach, or by the pool. This is TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Braves back in action tonight against the Red Sox at Fenway, 6:10, wherever you're able to watch the Braves, legally or illegally.
Good luck.
TBS has Twins and Yankees. Luis Gil, am I saying his last name right?
Yeah, he is.
He's off to a great start, 6-0, 38 innings, 44 strikeouts, a 0.70 ERA as a rookie.
Yeah, so he was the AL Rookie of the Month. He was also the AL Pitcher of the Month. It's a cool story because he's facing his first organization, for the first time in Minnesota. But the first time he played professional baseball was actually 2015 in their Dominican League. It's taken him this long to get to the majors.
6-0, quick start there, and striking out more than one an inning. Forrester says his White Sox are on fire, 15-45 on the season. Troy says just buy MLB TV and you'll be fine. I think you get blacked out.
You do.
If you're in the Braves viewing area, which Birmingham is usually.
Yeah. There's some major issues there. I mean, it's even worse in the city of Atlanta, actually. EG tells me it's crazy.
All right. We continue on. Everybody behind the glass, including Rockstar and Tyler and Lunsford and Forrester back there. A lot of gear shipping going on. We appreciate all those folks. Taylor Corn's got everything social media and sent out a couple of clips from the Kristen Saban interview since it dropped yesterday at 12 noon. You can go get all of that at Next Round Live on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on YouTube, where you're able to watch the show every day, and we appreciate you guys doing that. Show being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Tell us about New York Butcher.
Well, they sponsor the steak bet every single, it seems like every single day. Y'all don't do one every day. Where's it stand right now? You're up what?
I don't know where I'm up right now, but Luka took one away from me by making the finals.
He'll do that too.
Who was it, Luka to the finals before what? Do you remember?
Dak to the Super Bowl.
It's very Dallas.
How did that happen?
So New York Butcher Shop, Jim and the gang there, they got those great locations, Cahaba Heights and Greystone. We are all by there often to get the steak, the Duroc pork chops, the chicken, the amazing sides. We don't talk enough about the sides. They are so good. So when you've got that grill ready to fire up, make sure the meat you put on it comes from New York Butcher Shop. One-stop shop for everything from the main dish to the sides. nybutcher.com, Cahaba Heights and Greystone. Jim and the gang at New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well done service.
Okay, before we do our 40 and 40 today, Forrester sent me a graphic that was put out by the ACC Network. Taylor Tannenbaum with us in about an hour. The ACC Network, best chance, according to them, to win the Atlantic Coast Conference. Here is the graphic. No surprise, Florida State is number one at 26.2%. Clemson is second. Louisville slides in third, ahead of Miami, and SMU fifth best odds via the ESPN FPI, the Football Power Index, at the best chance to win the ACC. With that in mind, one of those teams is our MyBookie 40 and 40 team today, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie.ag, Brownie.
Perhaps you have had this happen to you. You've got a casino trip planned. Everything falls apart at the last minute, and you're like, well, I'm out. You're not out anymore. MyBookie's new and improved online casino can change the game for you. Truly realistic casino experience right in your own home. Slots, progressive jackpots, live dealer action, all for the comfort of your own home. MyBookie Casino, a Las Vegas experience in your hands. Start at mybookie.ag today. Great sign-on bonus when you use code NEXTROUND. Code NEXTROUND, revamped loyalty program, exclusive VIP perks. The more you play, the more you win. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
All right, Forrester, number 27 today. Louisville slides in ahead of Iowa, 27 Louisville. Last year, this was the sexy pick by Brownie and me in the offseason because their schedule was weak. Jeff Brom went home, won 10 games in his first year as the head coach in his hometown. Overrated this year, in my opinion. Team's still going to be pretty good. Schedule a lot more difficult.
You say a lot more difficult. I don't necessarily disagree. It is more difficult than last year's, but they're still going to be favored 7 of their first 8 games. They're probably favored 9 total games. That doesn't necessarily equate to wins. Tyler Shuck from Oregon to Texas Tech, now to Louisville, is going to be that transfer quarterback. I think he's going to be better than Jack Plummer was. But do the other skill guys that are coming in from the transfer portal, do they all kind of mix in right? Donald Chaney coming in from Miami, Colin Lacey, the receiver from South Alabama, Ja'Cory Brooks, we all remember that name,
That's
Alabama.
right, yep.
So a bunch of skill coming in. Does it all get together on the same page? Ron English's defense was really good, first in the ACC against the run, first nationally in red zone defense. Defense should be good again. The schedule is favorable. I think this is about right for Louisville. I think they win 8 or 9 games.
The 3 losses on the graphic that little T points out is 3 losses to me. At Notre Dame, home to Miami, at Clemson. I think they lose all 3. Brownie, here's their entire schedule on what LT's talking about.
Hey, how about week 2? Got Jack State coming in. You think they can handle the Gamecocks? I don't know.
I think they will.
I don't think they will. Austin Peay, Jack State. You got the bye. Georgia Tech, and as you said, Dunaway, you're going to get a big test week 4, or game 4, week 5 for you. At Notre Dame. You're on the road, 2:30 Central Time, NBC kick for that game. So I think you'll find out a lot, but you can't let that game beat you twice because look who is right after that, right. SMU. So whatever happens, if you win it, you got to get back down. If you lose it, you can't lose to Notre Dame twice. SMU, that's a tough test for them at Louisville. You mentioned Miami, at Clemson. I think it's in ACC terms a fairly challenging schedule for them once they get into the late September part.
I got them 7-5.
So you think they're a little too high then?
Yeah, slightly high.
I would go 8-4. I mean, I could see them get to 9 wins.
Give me your swing game, Lance. Your swing game between you and Dunaway. What game swings it? Is it SMU, you think, at
SMU
home?
and Miami, both those home games.
Yeah, I have them losing to Notre Dame, SMU, Miami, and Clemson. To get to that 5th loss, I throw Kentucky, and I throw tricky Georgia Tech out there in that one. Georgia Tech, Louisville is going to be a tight matchup. Closer than the experts think.
So, the Georgia Tech Louisville game was a really tight game, 1 possession last year.
Not a lot of scoring, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of scoring.
Oh, it was?
39-34.
Just pictured scoring in that game.
It's a coin flip.
But, they lost that random game to Pittsburgh after they had started 6-0, and then they win 4 consecutive games. They're 10-1. They lose to Kentucky again, 1 possession game. Then they had that opportunity against Florida State where everybody wanted Louisville to win that ACC championship game because no Jordan Travis.
Low scoring in that one.
Yeah, their offense looked horrible.
It was awful. 16-6 final game there, and then they get blown out by SC in the Holiday Bowl. But they should be better in year 2. It doesn't mean the record's going to be better, though.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you guys. I could see 8-4, 7-5. I think SMU, Miami, that's probably your swing games right there that determines if they're 8-4 or 7-5.
All right, so there's our 40-40 team today, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag.
We were talking about those games. Are they 8-4? Are they 7-5? You play all those games right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round gets you, first of all, a generous sign-on bonus. Then you get some great loyalty rewards, VIP experience. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Mybookie.ag, code next round.
All right. Bobby says, I don't understand the thinking behind they're overrated because the schedule is much tougher this year. You can still be accurately ranked, but have a few losses because of a difficult schedule. That's a great point. 27 is where you guys voted them. Not in my top 25, not in your top 25, but nowhere close to, obviously they were in a lot of people's top 25 or they wouldn't be 27th in our ranking. I don't think they end up there. I don't think they're one of the, Florida State, Clemson, SMU's better.
You think Miami's better?
Miami's better. They're not one of the top 4 teams in the ACC for me.
I think it's borderline.
I could see, if everything broke right and they get all their swing games, I could see them make a run to the ACC championship. But I agree. I think those teams are better.
All right. No divisions this year. Just like last year, they have to be a top 2 team right there. Zach says, Haynes King, a baller at Georgia Tech now. They score.
Well, that was the guy, if you were watching, led them in the comeback at Miami. That was probably his shining moment right there.
And that's probably one of Mario Cristobal's darkest moments
yes.
as a head coach. Can't wait for football season to get here. One more baseball note here. Let's do the video I sent you last night, Forrester. It's called Cosmic Baseball. This is one of those college leagues like the one you did out in the Jayhawk League. This is in Virginia. The Tri-City Chili Peppers taking on the Greenbrier Knights under black lights, Cosmic Baseball.
That looks pretty cool.
Look at that. Real game, cosmic coloring on bases, the baseball, the uniforms, the umpire sleeves and everything.
I like the pitcher pitches behind an L screen. They are not going to risk that.
Right. Neat novelty here, but you limit the vision out there. I mean, what is really the use of this?
I don't know. It's a pretty cool look. I'm not sure I would. I bet your eyes, like after you go to one of these games, I bet it takes you a while to adjust your vision.
Oh.
Can you imagine what you'd feel like?
I guess he's able to throw as fast as he wants to?
I would think so, yeah. You can see the ball. But notice he's behind an L screen, right? Yeah. They're not going to risk him getting decapitated.
This is...
But I got to stand up there and hit her, and he can throw as hard as he wants to. If they were throwing BP, it'd be a little different.
I don't know. Can't really...
he's bringing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's going for he was going from a wind-up there.
Yeah.
So this would probably be fun to play a game or two.
They're going to play it 3 more times this summer.
Yeah, but as a fan, I don't know what you get out of this.
It was sold out.
Wow.
Well, because it's a novelty. Yeah. I mean, you think if you had season tickets for a year, how many people would go to that?
Scott Forrester's right. This is for people who don't particularly like baseball.
Yeah.
You need the novelty to get involved.
This is something the Savannah Bananas would do.
Yeah, what kind of a league is this anyway?
It is the Virginia College League.
Okay. So it's like a wood bat league.
Yeah, I don't know if it's wooden bat, but it is the college kids that are playing. It looks like they've got a big glow-in-the-dark pink bat right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cosmic.
It's pretty cool.
I don't even like cosmic bowling, though, to be honest with you. Yeah.
It screws up your eyes. Like, if you're in there too long.
It was fun back in my 20s doing it every now and then.
Oh, they had that in your 20s?
Yeah.
In your 20s?
Yeah. So that would have been my 40s.
Yes.
When we come back, Clay Travis joins the show. We spent May with our Mental Health Awareness Month, and we've switched now to June, LT. And I'll ask you, June is what now? It's
PTSD month.
Okay.
And so we've got a lot of our veterans that are coming back to the States. We've talked about Folds of Honor before. Brown, I'll let you transition into this. But, we did some podcasts, and Rocky and Scott Forster helped us with this yesterday. Dr. Brett McCabe, Nick Johnston. We shared our stories. We have some really, really cool podcasts coming up on mental health.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these. We'll drop those on our platforms there. Mental health in America, it affects everyone. And men suffer with mental health issues just like everyone else. Anxiety, depression, substance abuse rates, they're similar to what women suffer. But here's the problem. Less than half of men will seek treatment. 1 in 10 will suffer. That's what the numbers tell you. So you are absolutely not alone in this. Less than half those seek treatment. So please talk to a doctor today. If you're feeling depressed and sad, worthless, hopeless about the future, a lot of guilt, low self-worth, if you've got thoughts of death or suicide, make sure you reach out to a professional right now. And 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 988. That's all you have to dial. Someone will be there to talk with you. Lance mentioned that Nick Johnston of Johnston RV is part of the podcast that's coming up, and he has been so supportive of this. We appreciate them. Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Both those lots right there. They have repriced everything on those lots. They're so confident in their pricing, in fact, that they will give you a nationwide price guarantee. You bring them a price on any RV, they will beat it nationwide. Comparable RV, all you got to do is bring them that price. That's their guarantee. Lance mentioned our men and women of the military. They love you like we do on this show. Just a small way of saying thank you. Uniform military, retired veterans, they can give you a great discount there at Johnston RV. See more, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelSonLaserVision.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Our friends at Long-Use Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Long-Use offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Long-Use offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Long-Use sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Long-Use has to offer you.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. We got now.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Little T and others are saying Cosmic Brownies really good. That was a one-time Little Debbie thing, but I see recipes all over the internet of make your own Cosmic Brownies at home. When I first saw Little T saying Cosmic Brownies are good, I instantly was thinking about mushrooms or marijuana brownies, the juiced up adult brownies.
You got those marijuana brownies?
That's a different thing.
Have you ever had those?
I have not.
I've never had one.
There's a tailgate, I won't say where, but the college football venue I go to occasionally that always has a couple of sheets of them.
Interesting. You can still get Cosmic Brownies. My little one likes those, not the marijuana.
I've never been a big Little Debbie fan.
I did not know Little Debbie Cosmic Brownies existed.
Yeah.
And I just instantly was looking at my shoulder into the what I thought was going to rename the Cheech and Chong social media center over my shoulder, and I realized it was a kid snack.
You know what my wife brought home? So Lance, the famous Little Debbie. You don't like the oatmeal cream pie?
No.
Okay. Did that come up in the conversation yesterday?
It did not.
Kristen Saban? You know what my wife brought home? Just out of the blue the other day, not requested by me. I guess she just knows I like them, and I haven't asked for them in forever.
Puppy.
Swiss cake rolls.
Oh, really?
Little Debbie Swiss cake rolls. That is my favorite Little Debbie, is the Swiss cake roll.
She wanted to go a little retro with you.
She did, and she brought them home. I put them right in the fridge, put the box right there in the fridge, and ate one later that day. It was on Sunday. She'd go into the grocery store after church.
You know what I
Little
had?
Swiss cake rolls. I love them.
Memorial Day by the pool at my friends Tony and Courtney's house. One person brought, and this is sort of a fall thing to me, but what's the peanut butter things inside the chocolate? They're
Tagalongs?
No, they're circled. Are they Buckeyes?
Yeah,
Buckeyes, the peanut butter and chocolate. What are they called?
No,
Nutter butter.
No, they're Buckeyes.
The
they're
Buckeyes,
they're like round, and it's chocolate with peanut butter on
And
the
I usually
inside.
think of them in Thanksgiving
I
or
agree.
Christmas.
I kind of agree with you.
But they brought a tray of those.
Yeah.
Some of the guests, they brought a tray of those, and I was like, oh, I'll pop one of those in. You can't eat just one of those things.
not at all. Yeah. Were they chilled?
They were cold.
Yeah, that's
ice
a good
cold.
one,
Yeah, really, really good. This hour of the show being brought to you in part by our friends with the Birmingham Stallions. It's playoff time this Saturday at home. Your Stallions take on the Michigan Panthers this Saturday at 2 p.m. at Protective Stadium for the USFL Conference Championship. So a trophy on the line this weekend. Winner goes on to the championship title game. Come cheer on your hometown team as they defend their championship title. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-the-field opportunity for the kids, and elite professional football. There is something of fans of all ages. Tickets start at just $10. And they're available at theufl.com. Theufl.com. Don't miss your chance to cheer on the Stallions. This is their last home game of the year, Protective Stadium. A win, and they're off to the championship game in St. Louis. Michigan and Birmingham played a close game at Protective last weekend. And hopefully Birmingham takes it to them this weekend.
I know you have stumbled into this weird thing at lanceslock.com where you're really good in UFL games. Are you good enough that you can tell me if Birmingham and St. Louis play for the championship, how much St. Louis will be favored?
In front of what yesterday? Who said it was?
Luganville said this Saturday will probably be 40-something thousand.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the championship.
No. He
game.
was talking about this semifinal game.
I would think St. Louis. It depends on how Birmingham plays this week, but if they both win, St. Louis probably 2.5.
2.5 point favorite. Because I remember thinking, well, if this weekend is 40-something thousand, I wonder what the championship weekend would be. Obviously, if it's the two best teams, I think it even helps them.
But St. Louis will be favored.
So they'll be a small favorite over Birmingham.
Maybe Clay Travis at some point here. Trying to get him on the phone right now. We continue on. Joel Klatt had an interesting comment yesterday on Colin Cowherd. Completely opposite of how you feel about a particular team. Forrester will pull up the quote here. Joel Klatt, there's a chance Colorado is competing to go to the Big 12 championship game this year. There's a scenario, says Klatt, where Shedeur Sanders, if he's healthy, and they maintain some of that health with guys on the outside, Travis Hunter, I think, is one of the best overall players in college football. There's a chance that Colorado's competing to go to the Big 12 championship game this year. Joel Klatt, Colorado alum, says that about his Buffaloes. You feel totally opposite of that.
I do. Again, if all these transfer guys come together, then maybe it's one thing. But even going back to Colorado early last year, they were winning games. If some of those go sideways, that TCU game, that was a back and forth. If they would have lost that, it's a little bit different. People would have been like, oh, that's a moral victory.
Should have lost Colorado State. I thought Nebraska was a winnable game for the Cornhuskers.
Can we just go best case scenario with them and see if what you think is the most optimistic scenario?
And I'm not going to challenge. Joel obviously knows a lot more than we do. I just think this schedule is really difficult for Colorado, and I just don't know if Shedeur, with the way he was hit last year, is he going to be able to take that again this year?
Yeah, that's what the chat room is asking. Who blocks for Shedeur?
Yeah, he was running for his life.
You're relying on one of the best offensive tackles out of the high school ranks, one of the highest, a five-star guy. They signed that guy, but is a five-star tackle that's 18 years old that's never played at this level. We saw Caden Proctor last year surrounded by other really good linemen struggle.
If you're super optimistic for Colorado, you've got them 5-0 going into the bye week. That gives them a home win over North Dakota State on the first Thursday night. Now, I'm saying super optimistic, Lance. At Nebraska, if they can't be 5-0 right here, they're not going to win the Big 12. That's my point.
But boy,
at Nebraska week 2, at Colorado State week 3, Baylor for homecoming week 4, and in Orlando at the Bounce House week 5 against Central Florida. My point there is, that is super optimistic 5-0. But if they're not 5-0 right there, how do you win the Big 12? You think they'll be 5-0?
More 0-5 than 5-0. Oh, okay, closer to 0-5 than 5-0.
I would say if you go 3-2 in those 5, you should be happy if you're Colorado.
Yeah, but if you're 3-2, you've almost assuredly lost a Big 12 game already.
September 28th in Orlando, and Andrew brings this up. Andrew, UCF, 0 chance they win in 200% humidity at UCF.
That would be a tough spot for them.
Because their 22 is okay.
Yeah,
but their second stringers are not. And 200% humidity.
Yeah, I think North Dakota State is a toss-up game for them. At Nebraska, they're an underdog. That would be a monumentally good win for them. At Colorado State, it's a team that almost beat them last year.
I think they beat Colorado State on the road. I'll give them that win.
Baylor, that's certainly a winnable game.
It is a must-win for Baylor.
And Klatt, I know he never factors in Vegas, but 1,000% they're going to be underdogs at least in 8 games.
Yeah. But then once you get past that bye week, even if you're super optimistic and they're 5-0, Kansas State at home,
would be a terrible loss for Chris Klieman.
It would be an awful loss for Chris Klieman. Then you're at Arizona with Noah Fafita back. I think Arizona's still going to be a pretty good team, even though they lost Jed Fish to Washington.
And by the way, it seems like everybody left Arizona, including the coach, but apparently everyone I respect continues to say Arizona's still going to be pretty good.
I don't think they're going to fall off the face of the earth. Yeah. Keep in mind, you remember they had all those seniors that were coming back to play this one more year, right? They're going to be an experienced team. Cincinnati is a tough game. But then after that bye week, where are your wins after the bye week? So if you're even in the Big 12 hunt, and you got your last 4 games at Texas Tech, Utah at home, at Kansas, and Oak State at home?
No chance those last 3.
Where are your wins right there? Y'all give me your wins right there.
I don't see them. That's why I said 2-10.
If you're going to play for the Pac-12, you're probably going to have to be 3-1 in that stretch, and you're on the road in Lubbock, which is a tough place to play. You're hosting Utah, which might be the best team in your league. You're at Kansas, who I think is going to be a sneaky good team in the Big 12.
And then Oak State, best team.
Yeah, and then Oak State, who's probably could be the best team.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they get a break on this Big 12 schedule from anybody.
You're playing the 4 best teams in the conference: Kansas State, Utah, Kansas, and Oak State.
And I think Texas Tech on the road.
Yeah.
Central Florida on the road.
Yeah, I do not see it. Even if I'm the most optimistic person about Colorado, it's still hard for me to paint the picture that they were playing for a conference championship.
I think it's a great year if they're 5-7.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. Like, I think, and I said this last year about prime time, if he got them to a bowl game last year, I think he should be coach of the year. And I'll say it again. If he gets them to a bowl game this year, I think you got to consider him for coach of the year. I'm not playing here. I think you really have to consider him.
It sounds crazy, but degree of difficulty for Colorado and where they are is almost the same as Florida, as how difficult Florida's schedule is.
Kind of agree.
I mean, if I ask you right now, how good do you feel if I'm like, who has more wins, Colorado or Florida?
I'd go Florida. I wouldn't feel great about it.
I saw Siskey on McCready and Siskey repeat what we said back the last time we talked about Colorado, that we think this is Deion's last year. And Siskey, who is tied to coaching people all over the sport, if I remember correctly in the episode I was watching, he too believes Deion doesn't coach there next year.
I mean, I'm inclined to think he doesn't because of the kids. I mean, I think that's a contributing factor, right? Neither one of his kids will still be around next year in all likelihood. I mean, I guess I'd assume Shedeur goes pro, right? He would still have eligibility left, but he'd have to go pro. I just have always assumed once his kids move on, he moves on to something else. I don't know what it'll be. But I'll tell you what, if he goes 6-6 or 7-5, he might get another job out of that.
I think if he goes 2-10, he still keeps his job just because Colorado, what they've got invested.
They're not going to fire him. There's too much publicity for them to fire him. But I'll tell you what, you go side by side with that Colorado and Florida schedule. I don't know, gun to head, I don't know which one I'd be more confident in getting more wins. I would pick Florida, but I'm not confident.
Yeah, I'm not either. Like, I feel Florida's going to get 3 or 4.
I think Florida would beat Colorado if they played each other. I'll start with that.
Yeah,
right?
I would agree with that. Now, give Colorado Florida's schedule.
Oh, Lance, are you kidding me?
I mean, they beat Samford, but that's it.
I think they're a one-win team.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got their common would be Central Florida, where they're both are going to have to play them. I don't see a whole lot of wins if they play Florida's schedule.
We need to get Clad on just to let him explain a little bit. I mean, he obviously, I'm sure he's been on campus. I'm sure he's talked to Deion. I'm sure he's seen these guys, but boy, it's hard to believe.
Volfan205 says Bruce Feldman thinks they win 8 games.
Oh, I saw that, Yeah, I think they're the most polarizing team right now in college football. There's people that think they're going to be good with a lot of the portal guys he's brought in.
If you force me to find 8 wins on that schedule,
I couldn't do it.
If you force me to find 8, if you're like, Ryan, your life depends on 8 wins on this schedule.
Colorado.
On Colorado. That's who we're talking about, right? North Dakota State. I may come back to some of these.
No, you've got to go 5-0 like you said.
North Dakota State, Colorado State, Baylor.
Those are must wins. Cincinnati. I'm just going to give you Cincinnati. That's
Arizona,
5.
Cincinnati, Texas Tech. You can't find 8.
It's hard. I mean,
it's impossible.
It's going to require them to either win one of these games at Central Florida, Kansas State at home, Utah at home, at Kansas or Oklahoma State. Right?
No, if we had if our full screen was a big monitor behind, I'd walk over and I would take the Kansas State on the end of the top row and the 3 in a row down at the bottom of Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State to end the year. Those 4, there's no chance. So you have to win the rest of them. To be 8-4.
If Deion in his prime was playing for this team,
I still don't think they'd win that many games.
I think he would steal them a couple of games, but boy, I think 4-8 is your best case.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to find 8 wins there, that is so tough. But yeah, they got to be. I think to get to 8 wins, they absolutely have to be 5-0.
All right, a little this from our friends at I think it was Yahoo Sports and maybe Bleacher Report, who gives us this fact after Brownie tells us about our friends at Hemphill. It involves the Florida Panthers if they win the Stanley Cup and what that means for the city of Miami. So,
listen, the hot weather is on the way, obviously. We're going to touch 90 soon. If it doesn't run right, drain right, or flow right, Hemphill Services is who you call. And I say the hot weather because you want to make sure that AC unit is ready for it. Hemphill Services, 229-2090 is the number, 229-2090. If you're experiencing plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or your business, Hemphill Services can help you. Residential or industrial, 229-2090.
All right, so here's the deal. If the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup this year, they start Saturday, Oilers and Panthers for the Stanley Cup. If the Panthers win, it gives the city of Miami the Pro Sports Grand Slam.
How about that?
As you know, Miami already has 3 world championships with the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2, sadly, with the Miami Dolphins.
That's only 2, yes.
72 and 73. And 2 with the Florida Marlins. This would be their first hockey. They would become the 10th city to have the professional sports Grand Slam. I venture to say of the other 9, you can't name one of them. I mean, you can name 8 of the 9.
8 of the 9, but there's one you'll never name.
Yeah, because obviously everybody goes New York and Boston.
New York and Boston.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Dallas.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Do they have to have 4 teams? Do they have to have all 4?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be the Grand Slam. So New York,
Yeah.
Boston, Los Angeles, and Dallas, Fort Worth you've called out. Miami could be the 10th. There's one you're not going to get, I believe.
So we wouldn't consider San Jose in part of the San Fran market, but I don't think the Sharks have won it anyway.
No.
And I don't get the Argonauts Grey Cup, do I?
No.
In Toronto?
No. Still one big major city in the U.S. you've left off.
Well, when the Pittsburgh Pisces, when they won their championship in that movie, does that count?
No. Still one big major city you've left off. You've named New York and Los Angeles.
Oh, Chicago.
Chicago, obviously, is there.
So that gets us to 6
So
or 5?
You've got 5 now. There's 3 more you should get, and then there's 1 you will not get. I'll help you out here. Philadelphia with the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers,
Eagles and the
Eagles.
Sixers. Okay.
Did the St. Louis Spirit win one back in the day?
That's not of the 4 major, but St. Louis is the one you would not get because the 1958 St. Louis Hawks won an NBA championship. The Blues have won one.
The
Rams, and the St. Louis Cardinals.
So that's the one we would not get?
That's the one you would not get.
What are the others then?
Detroit has slipped through your net there with the Red Wings, the Tigers. The Lions won an NFL championship.
Did the Vikings ever win an NFL championship before the Super Bowl?
Well, maybe before Super Bowl.
Because I was going to say them, but I don't know if the North Stars, did they win one?
I don't think so.
District of Columbia.
D.C.?
is the other one, D.C.
When did the Bullets win one?
Wes Unseld.
Back in the 70s. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Redskins.
I thought about D.C., but I didn't think the Bullets had won one. That's why
Capitals and your Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals won one, yeah.
So those are the 10 metro areas. Bobby says St. Louis is why I was thinking KC. But I didn't think you would get that one because the St. Louis Hawks.
Yeah, I would not have. No.
So programming on the fly, Clay said his phone never rang. He said he's ready to go if we want to do it next segment.
It goes to a voice. He's told me before he has some 4 numbers blocked. It's happened before. It just goes the number you have dialed cannot be answered instead of trying 3 or 4 times.
We could give him the number to call.
Yeah, he has the number if he wants to call me.
We'll get him next
it will not let me go through.
So y'all want to do it next segment?
Sure.
We'll do it next segment and then Taylor Tannenbaum after that as we continue on right here. The show being brought to you, Brownie, by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. You know, I was talking to E.G. about this when she was on the show hosting last week. She loves that place, just professional, all the pampering and spa-like things that she loves there.
Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That is the place to go, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can book right there online. They're open 10 to 8 daily, 10 to 6 on Sunday. You can get a gift card right there if you've got a anniversary coming up. Great anniversary gift idea. Couples massage, spa services, all of that right there at Woodhouse Spas, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok while we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Our friends at Long-Use Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Long-Use offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Long-Use offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Long-Use sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Long-Use has to offer you.
52-year-old Larry Allen passed away yesterday, one of the best offensive linemen in the history of the game, part of the Cowboys' last Super Bowl team, I believe.
Yeah, it was the strongest man in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah. Sad to see him pass at the age of 52, six-time All-Pro, and just a really good run there. For him in his NFL career, age 52, leaves behind a wife and some young kids. Thoughts and prayers to them. Larry Allen, one of the great Dallas Cowboys. Rockstar, you still working to get Clay? Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports, getting you back in the game. If you pull a muscle, lifting weights, trying to get in the best shape of your life, or if you're out working the lawn and do something that sort of tweaks a knee or injures an ankle, they'll get you back to work, back to play. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885. 512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. It's a good opportunity to go by there, and any of their great locations from Jasper to Alabaster. That's mine, Dr. Patterson down in Alabaster. Great guy there, part of the Brookwood Baptist Health family. Diagnose, treatment, and then they help you through physical therapy as well. The best in the business, orthopedic care, better together. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885. precisionsportsortho.com/2024.
Clay Travis treating us like he's a 38 homeowner and we're trying to sit on his beach. I saw a video about that, Clay. That is a huge battle going on down there where you guys are, between the people that are trying to sit on the beach and the people that are owning the houses and calling it a private beach. And it's apparently like this daily battle that cops are having to be called in for.
Well, I mean, look, we don't want riffraff on our private beaches. I mean, I don't know what I need to say. I mean, I will say that on my beaches that I'm an owner on, I actually, I was down there last week. Ton of Birmingham people because I believe, in particular, Alice is a Birmingham family, and the people who got in early in Alice are, I mean, they're basically the equivalent of finding oil under their farms or whatever. I mean, there's no telling how much individual wealth is directly connected to some of those early buy-ins. But met a bunch. In fact, one of the guys I met was the painter. I was walking along the beach, and Moore, right?
Danny Moore? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he and his family were on the beach. And
what an idiot I am! You said painter, and I pictured the guy in the white overalls, a Budweiser can in his back pocket, and another one he's drinking.
I should have said maybe artist.
That's a much better description.
Have you thought about getting a portrait of yourself above your dining room?
No, that's a great idea. No, I told him. I said, I think I even mentioned you, Dunaway. I said, now that University of Tennessee is passing Alabama in football, I think you're going to have to switch and start doing University of Tennessee famous paintings.
Yeah. Well, he could paint you and reword Rocky Block and come up with something that rhymes with that, and it would work for you, I think.
Did you guys see who the leader is for the number one quarterback in 2026? So we're breaking out Nico this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Then we got George McIntyre, 5-star, committed. And then the number one recruit in America is a quarterback who is looking like he's going to go to Tennessee too. So we're going to stack 3 straight first-rounders together. And I feel sorry for Alabama football fans having to compete against Tennessee. I really do. I remember back in the days when this was a rivalry.
So here's the question:
I remember that one time you won in 16 years.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you getting the money?
They're so focused on the past. I'm a front windshield guy like Nick Saban.
Is this Jimmy Haslam?
In terms of there's tons. I mean, this is honestly an interesting point. There are lots of Tennessee fan billionaires, and there is a lot of money that is coming into Tennessee athletics as a result. And different programs have different numbers of billionaires associated with them. And look, let's take it away from Tennessee or anything else. Like I've said for a long time. I might have even said on your show, Tim Cook I think he has no kids, right? No heirs to my knowledge. Huge Auburn fan, right?
Auburn grad. I don't know if I would call him a huge Auburn fan. I don't know how much he consumes games and visits message boards. I know he's at some games. I don't know the level to which he's donated.
I don't know. Okay, that's what I'm going to.
Yeah,
I don't know how much he's donated.
I don't know
I
that.
was told he builds his Saturdays to make sure that he never misses an Auburn game.
Then I would hope he's donating a lot. Then, yeah.
Well, so my point though is no kids, right? He could easily. He's probably worth. One of you guys can probably get on your laptop and type it in. He's got to be worth 20 or 30 billion at least. I would think. He could donate $1 billion to Auburn's NIL.
Well, I've got him only at $2 billion, which is surprisingly low.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I see. That's surprisingly low.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, he still doesn't have any heirs. He could put $1 billion into Auburn's NIL fund and buy the 25 best players every year.
Easy.
And nobody could compete with that unless Elon Musk decides that he's a fan of some team. And the reason why I bring this up is. This is what caused salary caps to exist in the first place, because everybody who owns a professional sports franchise is super rich. And they looked around and they said, well, eventually the richest guy is just going to buy all the best players. And so in order to have competitive balance, we need a salary cap. Now, I know Major League Baseball doesn't have a salary cap, but baseball is actually kind of fascinating in that guys are spending crazy amounts of money like Steve Cohen with the Mets, and it doesn't necessarily pan out. I think that's because baseball is just a little bit more complicated than other sports. But, for instance, if you went and bought the 3 best players in the NBA, you would win a title every year, right? I mean, you just would, as long as they're different positions, right? You don't want them all to be guards or all to be forwards or whatever else, right? But that could happen in college athletics. I mean, a multi-billionaire could just say, screw it, I want my team to win every game. I'm going to give $1 billion to our NIL fund. So far, that has not occurred, but it is, to me, one of the major risks that's out there is you just have the ability to create a universe where no one else can compete because your richest guy is just willing to put down dollars on the table that nobody else is. That hasn't happened yet, to my knowledge, where one guy has been so rich that he just kind of blows everybody else out of the water. But, I always like to say we kind of saw a preview of this in Texas when all the Texas oil money guys, I always love this. There's a great book called The Big Rich which is about how all these Texas families that didn't have a lot suddenly discovered oil and they became billionaires overnight. And you know what they wanted to do? They wanted their college football teams or their high school football teams to kick everybody else's ass. They weren't like, hey, I'm going to solve malaria around the world. Like, you know, I'm going to cure cancer. They were like, you know, by God, we're going to kick the crap out of Permian High School, you know, for the next 30 years, which is really funny. But that basically was the fuel behind the SMU, death penalty era, was just a whole bunch of rich Texas oil guys were like, we're going to kick the crap out of you in football. And so far we haven't seen, to my knowledge, a billionaire just come in and say, here's $1 billion, go buy the 25 best players every year. But in theory, there's nothing stopping it from happening.
I don't understand how we continue to give you airwaves. At least Tokyo Rose back in the Korean War was communist airwaves that pumped over into the friendly confines of tents everywhere. I mean, we've got Tennessee Travis on here every week pumping in this volunteer orange.
You would have been on the side. You and Biden would have been on the side of Tokyo Rose.
Wow.
That is not true.
You're the communist on the show.
No, you're the capitalist here. I'm just trying to, Alabama's just been so dominant over the last 17 years that you're dreaming of a future without Alabama.
No. I just think your program's become irrelevant with Nick Saban gone.
Hey, Clay, because
y'all are. Hey, to be fair, y'all are basketball school now. Congratulations! Move over Kentucky. The Crimson Tide has given up football. They've decided they're going to be a basketball school. I mean, I didn't see it coming, but I appreciate it.
It's cheaper that way.
Clay, you bring up basketball, and Dunaway brought up the newest controversy on Caitlin Clark. Look, we love physicality. That was obviously a cheap shot. I just can't believe, analysts will say her name. These other players won't even say her name. How do they not recognize what she has done for the game?
I don't get it. I think you go back through my 20 years of being a public figure, I've never criticized anybody's salary, to my knowledge, in media. I've never been like, oh, Howard Stern, he doesn't deserve $100 million. I've said, Judge Judy gets $50 million a year. I think that's the best job in America, which I stand by. I think I could be incredible at her job. But I want everybody to make as much money in media as possible because I want media salaries to be as high as possible. I don't understand. I mean, these people in WNBA, these players, coaches too, they've been begging for attention for 30 years. Nobody cares. They've been begging to not have to fly Southwest Airlines, which, by the way, I still fly, so I don't get the complaints there. I mean, but they've been begging and complaining about lack of money and lack of attention. They finally get the beginnings of both, and they hate the girl who's bringing it to their league. It's just crazy, and I can't even think of a male athlete that has ever been treated as a rookie as poorly in their league as Caitlin Clark has in the league that she entered. It seems to me that, look, men want to beat the crap out of each other. Everybody's very competitive. But men seem to get this, like a rising tide lifting all boats. I mean, it's so counterproductive and destructive of the overall brand of the WNBA that they are behaving in this.
But it seems like the same people would be complaining if they were letting her, run the league right now. It'd be made for television. That she's the MVP and winning, and the Fever go from first pick to 7-1.
This is one that I was 100% wrong on. So take down your stenography here. I did not see this Caitlin Clark phenomenon becoming as big as it was, even last year. Because maybe I'm a little bit of a blind spot here because, I was talking about you guys becoming a basketball school. Well, the University of Tennessee used to be a women's basketball school. So maybe I was in the vanguard here. In the 90s, I watched a lot of lady ball basketball. I mean, I loved Pat Summitt, and Tennessee's basketball program was dominant. I watched those games against Gino Auriemma. There were big audiences that a lot of people cared about Summitt versus Auriemma, Candace Parker, Sue Bird. I mean, all that sort of era when they were going head to head. And I didn't believe that one player had captured so much interest. I mean, it's a good debate for you guys, there are only like a handful of athletes that I can even mention that have managed to create as much controversy around themselves and opinion. LeBron certainly has done it over the years. Tebow did it. Johnny Manziel did it. But, Tiger probably when he came into the PGA.
Yeah.
Nobody
wanted Tiger to chase down Jack. They were cheering against that. A lot of old school people were cheering.
I wouldn't say nobody.
Well, a lot of old school people were cheering against Jack Nicklaus being paced, and a lot of younger people were cheering for Tiger to do it.
Yeah, but Tiger coming into golf lifted the tide for everybody.
No doubt.
Suddenly you made way more money if you won any tournament. And there were some bumps, I'm sure, but it seemed to me in general that Tiger was welcomed to Dunaway's point. I mean, I'm Tiger's age generation roughly. Like, I loved watching Tiger. Whether you were a Tiger or a Phil guy, rivalry made golf way more interesting. Everybody talked about it a great deal more and seemed to understand that it was incredibly beneficial to the league as a whole. This story to me, the fact that Caitlin Clark has captivated as many people as she has, and the fact that it's cut through the noise, and that so many people, now partly I think it's that there's not a lot of sports going on right now. You got a week off between the NBA finals going. I love the College World Series, but a lot of people don't necessarily buy in. Women's College World Series, I think those things are fun, but you look at the audience, they're still quite sort of niche sports in many ways. And Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation. Everybody seems to be reacting to this. And frankly, I'm staggered by how poorly the WNBA has handled her emergence.
He is Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on Twitter. Thank you, Clay. Have a great week.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
All right, see you, Clay, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Remember, soldiers, keep fighting for the Crimson Tide, despite what Tennessee Clay has to say.
This is going to be a fascinating year for Hypeland, Tennessee.
Oh, I agree. I'm fascinated to see Nico. I mean, he played in the bowl game. It was against Iowa, tough defense. I mean, his numbers didn't dazzle. I thought, he looked fine. That was a tough defense against Iowa. He'll see tougher defenses than that in the SEC.
Yeah. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City, there to help you out during storm damage coming up this time of year, man. It's that time of year here in the Southland, and you need a guy on standby that you can trust. That's the guy with the big black truck and the Next Round logo on that back right side door. It's Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. What do you get with Greg Nelson and Storm Restoration Roofing? Get a locally owned company. His crews are local, managed mostly by his family members, right? People who are part of his family. He is locally owned for over 20 years, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and he has a great relationship with the insurance companies here locally, the guys that go out and say, all right, we'll pay for that roof, or we'll pay for this, or we'll pay for that. That is a great place to start for you. A free no-cost roof inspection any time of year, 205-542-3531. If you want a reference, just jump into our chat room on YouTube, and he has worked with lots of people that he'll give you a reference for. Go look him up on Facebook as well, Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing. When we come back, the one and only Taylor Tannenbaum, fresh off an Indy 500 trip. She'll join us to talk a little ACC sports coming up next, right here on TNR.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
One-time Alabama sportscaster, then to Indianapolis, and now part of the ACC Network, Taylor Tannenbaum jumps on the show with us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Taylor, welcome back to the show. Did I see you back in Indianapolis during 500 weekend? Were you back that weekend?
First of all, you know, it's always an honor and a pleasure to join some of my favorite guys in the world. So, and to be on the airwaves in Alabama again, you know, it's always sweet home for me. And I did go back to Indiana. That was the first time I've been back since I left, and I never have gone to the race as a fan. So I saw like places of the track I'd never seen before. And it was awesome. Or everyone, like I always say about Talladega, you have to go once. You got to go to Daytona once. You got to go to the Indy 500 once.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I was going to ask you that. When you were dominating Huntsville television, you had to have come to Talladega. How do they compare?
It's just, well, the pageantry is what it's all about. Like, right? Like, obviously, you go really fast. That's the best part of it, too. This is just, it's the largest single-day sporting event in the world. There's 300,000 plus people in one place. And it's mostly about like the racing's awesome, obviously, but the history and the families who've gone for 50 years and passed down their tickets for years and years. Talladega gets a little rowdier. I mean, there's a rowdy bunch there in the infield in Indy, but Talladega, the partying is truly second to none.
Okay, so Talladega rowdier than the Indy 500.
Oh, that surprises you?
Well, I just
Indy 500 wine and cheese.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like at the 500, there's the snake pit, which gets like really crazy. It's in turn 3, and it's like, but the Boulevard at Talladega, like that's just like you see some things that like you can't unsee. You know?
Okay, you cover the ACC. We were talking about Louisville earlier. Let's start with your alma mater, Florida State. You guys were starving for the year you had last year. Obviously, with the Jordan Travis injury, you guys did not close out the season you wanted to. I think Florida State under Mike Norvell this year is a fascinating study because they lose a lot. You know, obviously quarterback, you lose your two best defensive players. Where do you think Florida State stacks up this year in the ACC?
So I agree with you. I think they're interesting because there's no question they have talent, right? And what Mike Norvell has done over the last several years, especially coming from where they came from, is amazing. He's officially built the foundation back. So at this point, there's no excuse for them year in and year out not to be competing for a championship, right? This is the level that they've brought themselves back to. So I expect the same this year with very little drop off. The difference is last year coming back, you knew a lot about this team. It was dudes who decided, hey, I'm going to forgo the league for another year, or guys we've seen for several years coming back together. This year, you have really great pieces, but what do those pieces look like all together on the field? And DJ Uiagalelei, we obviously know from his time at Clemson, and he goes out to Oregon State and looked better. Numbers not necessarily strikingly different, but certainly took another step. I think that's the biggest case study, is what DJU do you get? Because, look, he's several years into his career. He kind of is who he is. Now it's going to be on Mike Norvell and Alex Atkins, the OC, to put their quarterback in the best position possible to win football games, right? He doesn't have to be the hero. He doesn't have to be Jordan Travis. But what I like about this coaching staff, especially Norvell and Atkins, is they put their people in the best position possible to succeed. And I think that's going to be the most fascinating watch, is how do they get the most out of DJU without forcing him to be the game-winning QB. He has so much talent around him. They have to utilize that and just let him kind of be, I know this can be a negative connotation, but more so a manager than anything else.
There was a time, Taylor Tannenbaum is with us. Go follow Taylor on Twitter, at Taylor Tannenbaum, and see her on ACC PM on the ACC Network it's every day. Is it even every day in the offseason, Taylor? Are you guys doing that every day in the offseason as well?
Yeah, quite literally almost every day. Yeah, we're on every day for the month of June, 4 to 6. We'll take a July hiatus, but we'll be back.
Okay. I didn't know if you did it all summer long every day. So through the month of June, every day on ACC PM. So there are people that think Miami is resurgent this year as well with Cam Ward there. Might we finally, because when I was growing up, Taylor, Florida State, Miami,
I know.
That was the game that stopped everything in college football. I don't think we're quite there yet, obviously, but it feels like there's a little more pop to that rivalry than there has been in years past this year.
I hate that I'm saying this because we do this every freaking year. But I truly believe this is the year Miami is. Do I say the word back? Do I say that?
Go ahead.
I'm really scared to say it. No, but it's not even that I think. They have to be. Like, this is the year they have to make that step. And I know it's year 3 under Mario Cristobal, and still, you're rebuilding something that had plateaued and fell off for a very, very long time. It hasn't been the Miami that we used to know for a very long time. But with the talent that you have, the 4 and 5 stars you've signed, and the way that Cristobal has worked the portal, there's absolutely no excuse for them not to be competing for an ACC championship this year. Look, 7 wins last year. They were a knee away from an 8th. Could have potentially won a bowl game. That's just the truth. Listen, they should have won that Georgia Tech game, and maybe we're having a very different conversation. But you have to do better than 7 wins and 3 and 5 in the ACC. It was a step from year 1 under Cristobal, but it's got to be a giant leap because Cam Ward is elite. And everything we're hearing out of Miami is everything that you had heard with him transferring there and everything we had seen in his couple of years in college football. Damian Martinez coming down as the running back too. They have playmakers on the outside at wide receiver. And defensively, they're going to have dogs. And what I love is he's built it from the inside out. The offensive and defensive lines are solid. They have no excuse this year not to compete for an ACC championship. And you know what? You talk about Florida State, Miami, you get Florida, Miami right off the bat.
Yep.
And that's going to be a huge measuring stick, not only for Miami, but for Florida too. This is a big game.
Okay, if Miami's back and Florida State has staying power, Louisville played for ACC championship last year. Where does this leave Clemson?
Right up there. And then this is a big year for Clemson too. There's no question. Look, they have. I understand they haven't played for a national championship, right? And last year you can consider a down year, but at the end of the day, they're still winning 10 games a year. He's created sustainability. Now, Cade Klubnik has to take another step at quarterback this year. Garrett Riley in year 2 at offensive coordinator, you're comfortable now, right? You've got your bearings. You got to take that next step. Health is a huge thing for them. They've had really big health issues at wide receiver. They have talent. There's no question. Can they stay healthy? Defensively, I never worry about Clemson. They're stacked top to bottom, no question. The other part to that is last year, a lot of their miscues were on them. They fumbled and that ball away a ton. And I know the stat sheet won't necessarily show up. It's the wins and loss column that really jumps off the page. But they were a couple of fumbles away from us not even having this conversation this year. So Clemson needs to be at the top of the ACC, and they expect to be. Still had 9 wins last year. They looked really good in the bowl game against Kentucky in that ending. So if they can play off of how they finished the season, I think this could be a very, very different year. But no excuses at this point.
You know, I've respected your work ethic for years. So I want to know how many times when you do your show notes for ACC PM have you said, oh, crap, that SMU fact I need to include because they're in the ACC now, or Cal and Stanford? Because I know I've messed up several times already with Texas and Oklahoma, and that makes more sense than SMU, California, and Stanford. Does that feel real yet to you at the ACC Network?
So it's funny because ESPN just came out with their RPI. I saw you guys retweet it the other day, yesterday? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this team's here now. So that would be 4 Big 12 teams and 7 SEC. It's so hard to realize what logos are now where. But yeah, we're starting now to integrate, like, oh, by the way, Stanford just won a women's golf championship. Like, they're joining the league in the next 2 months. You're starting to integrate it. It's strange. It's definitely strange. And I think we're all going to take some adjusting. But the reality is the reality, and you kind of have to roll with it. It's exciting because we all love new. New can be scary, but new can also be really exciting. I'm pumped. I know you guys have talked to Rhett Lashley to have him in the league as a head coach because we know how talented he is as a coach and what he can put together there at SMU. And Cal and Stanford, selfishly, I'm excited because that means I get to go to California to the Bay. So, what they're rebuilding over there at Stanford, and Cal, has really arguably one of the best running backs in the country. So I'm excited to kind of watch him on this stage and see how it impacts the league and the whole race and just college landscape as a whole, what things are going to look like this year. It's going to be so different.
Most of your career in Alabama, SEC Media Days, was at the Galleria in Hoover. We're going to Dallas for SEC Media Days this year. It's so crazy. To an ACC town, we're going to Dallas. You said a July hiatus for your show. Do you have a big vacation, a big trip planned up?
You guys, truly, the best thing that I want to do is not go anywhere. We travel so much, so I'm kind of just going to hang in Charlotte. I might go home to Fort Lauderdale for a couple weeks just to hang out with mom and dad and my brother. Right. But other than
Fort
that,
Lauderdale's a vacation destination. That's home for you. Most people vacation there.
I live at the beach in South Florida, so I'm kind of going to lay low, guys, because the grind of football season, it gets to you. So I'm going to charge up, and especially because we'll be doing the cross-country thing, we got to be ready to go.
Because she's from Fort Lauderdale, the thing I love most about Taylor, she is a lifelong Miami Dolphins fan.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It's the year, Taylor. It's the year.
And you know what? When you cover college, you get really excited for the NFL draft. And Malik Washington, who played at Virginia, played at Northwestern before, Dolphins just drafted him, a wide receiver. Listen now. That's a steal.
Okay.
That's a steal. So I'm excited for it.
Talladega, you said there are some things that you see, and I apologize for my voice. Awful today.
Lance went to a rave last night.
I did not. You see some things you can't unsee. You being from South Beach, the Clevelander, what is the craziest thing you've ever seen there?
Oh, gosh. I have not gone to the Clevelander.
You don't need to.
I know that seems...
No, we stayed there. Alabama, Oklahoma. Was it Alabama, Oklahoma, or Alabama, Notre Dame?
Semifinal.
Alabama, Oklahoma. We stayed. We did our show from the Clevelander. We're Levitard. I don't know if he still does, but we're Levitard studio, and we did our show from there at the Clevelander.
You'll see some slinglets that are being worn as bathing suits on people that should not be wearing them, just walking behind your live shot, right? No,
dude, that was me. I had one on, and people made fun of me.
Yeah, that's a sight to see. What I do remember about Talladega several years ago was there was people wrestling in a pool of milk. It was sick. Might have been yogurt. I don't know.
That is
barbecue sauce one year because Brown and I emceed it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's very subtle.
But it's awesome. It's awesome stuff. And hey, on the note for Louisville, I do like what Jeff Brom's doing. I think their schedule's a little tougher this year than it was last year. They had a nice path to the ACC championship. They're going to be a good ball club. But they got a much tougher haul to get there this year. But it's exciting to see what they're doing in the ACC.
I love that Taylor was prepared for Louisville because it's our preview team, but we never ask her about it.
Yeah.
No, do you want to know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is they were our preview. We talked about them yesterday.
Oh,
on the
really?
show, weirdly enough.
Oh, that is interesting.
And I ran into Coach Braum when I was in India. I went to the Pacers Celtics game, and he was there wearing a Pacers shirt, doing his thing. So we got to chat it up a little bit.
Oh, cool. I like him. I like him. All right, Taylor Tannenbaum on Twitter. That is where you follow her. See her on the ACC Network, ACC PM, every single afternoon through the month of June. Thank you very much, Taylor. Always great talking with you.
Appreciate you all so much. I hope to see you soon.
Yep, please do. Come by. We'll see you. Taylor with us on the Johnston RVCenter.com hotline.
One other note after Brownie tells us about A+ on Stanford. I can make a case.
ACC team.
I can make a case that Stanford and Virginia Tech, 2 ACC teams, have fallen off more in the BCS era than any other team in college football.
Okay, I'll listen for that. Listen for that case. A+ style home remodeling. If your master bedroom closet has fallen off, Jim,
the bedroom is a bedroom and bathroom combination.
It was a bit of a stumble by me. My apologies. I'm doing more lives today than ever, thanks to Lance's failing voice. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom closets. That's what Brad Bell specializes in. In my house, Scott is showing you some before and after photos from our master bathroom, not the Beth room. Our master bathroom, and my wife, when it came time to do it, buddy, she scoured the internet. She talked to people that had used certain contractors themselves. She read reviews. She selected Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. This is his number, 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. It's what you're going to enjoy while you own your house, and it's where you're going to get your money back when you go to sell your home. So get Brad to do the work for you. Anywhere in Alabama, he can help you. The cell, 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
Okay, since the BCS era in 1998, this is from a Reddit thread last night in the college football chat room. BCS era, 1998 on. Ohio State has more New Year's Six bowl berths than anybody, 20. Next is Alabama and Oklahoma at 15. Florida State's 12. These programs are still good. Florida's down a little bit, but Florida, Georgia, Michigan, USC, 10 New Year's Six bowl bids in that time. Clemson and Oregon, 9. Notre Dame and Wisconsin, 8. LSU and Penn State, 7. Stanford, Virginia Tech, and Texas, underachieving Texas, but Stanford and Virginia Tech in that time have 6 New Year's Six bowl bids in that time in the BCS era since 1998.
Where's Texas?
It's right there with Stanford and Virginia Tech.
That is
6 New Year's Six. So they have way underachieved.
Yes.
But Stanford and Virginia Tech have fallen way off. It's hard to imagine Stanford ever getting back there.
I don't disagree.
Virginia Tech feels like they could take a big step, not to a New Year's Six bowl, but to be really good this year. But it's hard to imagine Stanford ever getting back there.
They just feel such a misfit in the ACC. I just don't know how that's going to translate. Jim Harbaugh built them into a really good program, and David Shaw maintained it for a minute.
Yep.
But, boy, you're right, Dunaway. They are so far from where they used to be.
Like, I feel like Virginia Tech maybe can get there again.
I mean, I don't know how often it happened, but it felt like they were constantly ruining Oregon's chance at winning a national championship. They'd go to that 8 tight end set. A bunch of guys didn't even have their name on the back of their jersey would come in, and Oregon would have no answer for it. And Harbaugh and David Shaw just run it right down your throat with Toby Gerhart and those guys.
Yeah, and I still don't know how Stanford had the success they did.
I mean, either.
They had some special players like an Andrew Luck and a Kristen McCaffrey.
Toby Gerhart was really good.
Gerhart, yeah. He was second or third in Heisman vote.
Yeah, the year Mark Ingram won, right?
Pretty good at quarterback, too.
Yeah,
with Andrew Luck, yeah. I don't know. I don't know that they'll ever get back there. I do.
Well, they had an identity, and they played to that identity really well. But I don't know what they're going to be in the future. And the misfit in the Atlantic Coast Conference only adds to my doubt that they can ever be a New Year's Six bowl team again.
I don't know how that practically hurts you in football. I mean, obviously there are some travel issues. They're going to have a lot more travel than the rest of the conference, just naturally. I don't know how it practically hurts you, though. Like, is it a stumbling block to them getting back? I don't know. Maybe it is.
Zach says Stanford, per the chat in the show, has rich boosters. Why can't they be back?
Yeah, those rich boosters get rich by investing in things they can see a return on their investment on financially. And investing $1 billion in a college football team might return an investment entertainment-wise for you, but it does not return an investment financially for you.
Zach using the Do you have to pay for that sarcasm font?
We need one.
Lunsford, is that the one that Zach's using over there? You
No.
pay for the sarcasm font?
But if you bought a program for $3 or $4 billion,
Now, then you could get a financial return. Yes, that would be a game changer.
that will ultimately happen.
Yeah,
it will not.
You don't think so?
That a private equity team will buy a college athletic program.
I could see a day where that happens.
I mean, Vanderbilt didn't even have a college athletic program really for a long time.
I could see a day where that happens.
I could see it.
Yeah. Where the power schools right now split off into their own thing, and the first step of it will be, look, let's just be real about this. We're paying these guys. Do they really have to get a degree? That'll be step one. We're paying them. They're basically professionals. Are we even going to require them to go to class?
No.
And everybody will get together. They'll be like, you're right.
They're going to run it like a business. It inevitably will happen. That On3 event we were at, there were so many private equity funds there because they're trying to get a temperature, a gauge of everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're hovering right now.
It'll happen one day.
All right, top of the hour, a little late. Champy's Chicken brings you this hour of the show always. Champy's world-famous fried chicken. You can jump in Highway 119 in Alabaster and see Sterling and the crew for lunch today. Doors opened 3 minutes ago, and Sterling will let you in. He's brined that chicken overnight. It is ready to cook to order for you. Hand-cut chicken fingers and Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, so much more. Champy'sChicken.com. On Highway 119 in Alabaster, say hi to Sterling at lunch today.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
LT's 4 downs in this segment. Taylor Tannenbaum, if you missed her from the ACC Network, available some clips on our social media at Next Round Live. Like and subscribe to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I don't know if we're on Snapchat or not. That's one I'm not on.
You're not on Snapchat?
I am.
I
but
am
I don't,
not. You're on
use
Snapchat.
It. I was back in the day. I don't use it. I don't know if we're on that or not. We're on everything else, though. So go follow at Next Round Live there. Like and subscribe. That includes YouTube as well, where some of you are watching us now. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching LTD&B with you here this hour of the show. And Lance's Log being brought to you in part by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Lance'sLog.com for his plays every day, including when it cranks back up the NBA Finals on Thursday night.
That's right. It is almost back. The NBA is almost back. The offseason is almost over. Hemp Hill Services, if it doesn't run right, drain right, flow right, Hemp Hill is your call, residential or commercial. The heat is on the way. Make sure you've got that AC tuned up just right. 229-2090. That's a 205 area code. 229-2090 for Hemp Hill Services.
Do you guys this is really for the chat room, because I know these guys are going to say no, they don't really follow recruiting. You don't really follow high school recruiting, right? More transfer portal now than high school recruiting, right?
Yeah, I mean, when we were out there, I had no idea who any of those guys were.
Yeah, when you were at the elite.
I don't
follow
follow it on the day-to-day. I'll wait for everybody to tell me where people finish.
I'm actually more fascinated with the transfer portal, not even close.
Well, it is a growing trend in the business that the transfer portal is drawing more interest than high school recruits. From the 2022 recruiting class, there were 34 5-stars. 9 of the 34 5-stars, these are the best in the business, are at a different school already. That's from 2022.
That's crazy.
So they've already, 9 of the best 34 players in the sport are already at least their second school. 3 of the top 5, including Damani Jackson, who's now from USC to Alabama. But 3 of the top 5, 9 of the 34. But get this, by the way, 40 of the top 100. So 40% of the top 100 players from 2022 are at a different school already. Now, that's the best of the best, and they're going to a school and going somewhere else.
Well, I think the problem, there's a couple of things. The entitlement, I'm the man. You get there, it doesn't necessarily work out. You're not getting the playing time you want. A coach is being a little mean. It's just way too easy to jump out of a situation now. I'm not surprised that 40% is the number of people transferring, but 40% of those guys in 2 years is crazy.
I do think this is about to get fixed. It's going to fix itself eventually.
Yeah, it is. And but let me give you one more.
Okay.
2023, that means they've only played 1 year. Remember how Sark with our buddy Josh Pate joked about everyone's raving about Arch Manning sticking it out at Texas. He's only been here 1 year.
That's right.
He's coming back for his second year, and everybody's patting him on his back. Of the top 100 players from last year's recruiting, 16 of the top 100 are already at their second school. They played 1 year at the other school. Caleb Downs, one of those guys. Coaching change. He went to Ohio State. But 16 of the top 100. So this tells you that if you just follow the 2022 norm, you're going to get about 24 more of the best players transfer out this year to another school.
Yeah.
Some of that, Brownie, you say will get fixed. Some of it is the best chance to get another big payday is you sign with one school, you get a big NIL payday. You leave and go to another school, you get what? Another big NIL payday. And some people, I think their plan is to upgrade every year.
But when players are under contract, and a lot of fans don't have an appetite for this, but when players are under a financial contract to play for a certain school, and it's a multi-year contract, they're either going to play and get paid or not play and not get paid, or that school is going to trade their rights for some sort of compensation to another school. That's my opinion. It's what we're eventually going to get to. You may hate that system. You may say that's too much like pro football, but you also hate the transfer portal. I do think that'll fix the transfer portal, though. Now, you may have a guy, like I was seeing when Justin Jefferson signed his deal. Somebody tweeted, not bad for a 2-star project. So apparently Justin Jefferson coming out of high school is a 2-star receiver, right? I didn't know that. I assume he was 5-star because of...
J.J. Watt was a 2-star.
Yeah, you got guys like that all the time, right? And they may only sign a 1-year contract, so it may be different for those guys. I don't know how all this is going to work eventually, but I got to imagine, I'll use Ryan Williams as an example, or Cam Coleman at Auburn as an example. 10 years from now, don't you think Alabama and Auburn are going to try to sign them to a 3-year contract with an option or whatever it is.
If there's any way to lock them in,
they're going to want to do that, right?
To where they're not a free agent every year. Can you imagine? This was
back to private equity real quick. They'll lock you in.
Oh, 100%. I mean, especially if you got private equity.
But your guy, Rick Neuheisel, I happened to catch him. His replay was on at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Whenever I was in the car going back and forth down to UAB with my son overnight, Neuheisel's show was on replay. And he said, the way college football is right now, if the NFL was set up like this, can you imagine the contract Patrick Mahomes would have right now? If every year the Chiefs had to renegotiate with Patrick Mahomes just to keep him.
It'd be impossible.
Or another franchise could come in and steal him away.
That's why you're going to have long-term contracts in college football, because try doing that. I mean, who was the best freshman in America? It might have been Caleb Downs, right?
Yep. Well, one of them.
Yeah, and Alabama was immediately in that position. Now, it was a weird position in that they were without a head coach for a minute, but they were in that position where they were immediately having to renegotiate with the best player in America. And if Caleb Downs had stayed another year at Alabama, they're probably having to do that for year number 3, too, before he goes to the NFL. I mean, nobody wants to be messing with that. There's not a college in America that wants to deal with that.
No, and I would think, though, a lot of these quarterbacks, they're going to make their money where they are. If you're getting playing time, you're making NIL, you want to stay in the same system most of the time, don't you?
Yeah, but, I mean, we even heard...
Of course, you can pick your system.
We can probably say it now because the coaching staff has changed. We even heard Bryce Young, after his Heisman Trophy winning season, what did he do?
Well, he tried to cash in on it.
He went back in and said, hey, other schools are offering me this. What can you do for me here at Alabama?
You know what? Bryce Young was worth every dime of that, too. What was that team without Bryce Young?
No, they were a 2-loss team with him.
With him, they were a 2-loss team. What were they without him?
Maybe 4 losses.
Yeah, I mean, so he was worth whatever it was he negotiated. He was worth every dime of it.
I don't know. Maybe the backup wouldn't have thrown it too hard to Jahmyr Gibbs, and Gibbs would have caught that pass at Tennessee.
It was too low, not too hard, but still. I mean, with the backup have thrown for the 600 yards that Bryce Young threw for before that.
And taking the hit on the chin and gotten up.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what they have to deal with now, but change is coming. And listen, we don't talk about it all the time here on the show because we get bored with it, all this NIL discussion and all of that. The shows I listen to, it is a constant discussion.
Yeah.
Every time I flip on these national shows,
you know why?
It is a constant discussion.
They've got guardrails. I mean, that's the fortunate thing about what we do. They are forced to talk about that.
About the NIL?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We talk a lot of college sports, and we choose to talk about things that I think are more interesting than that. We're able to talk about a beer night 50 years ago that
I know
fills up a little bit of a segment. And also, LT had an opportunity. Set up this video, cut number 4, LT, before we get to your 4 downs. What did you do this weekend?
Again, I was going to the lake with friends and woke up Saturday morning. Weather was bad, so we punted, went to a local establishment for lunch, was just checking out what was going on around Birmingham in the weekend. I saw that ComicCon was in town, decided to go down to ComicCon and get us a little sound, a little video from Sunday. Very interesting, some of the characters I ran across.
Okay, before I watch this, you're not making fun of them, though, right? You're
Would Lance do that, Jim?
Well, I mean, Maddie, who was your photographer, said don't make fun of these people.
Well, I mean, because I think she's got a soft spot for Star Wars or whatever it is. It was more about content. Let's just see how maybe some of the others live. I mean, it's the same thing we did at Talladega. Like, I don't know what the difference would be.
Did you make any fun of people at Talladega?
Yes, we did. Absolutely, we did.
Here's LT.
You interviewed a guy with a belly button that looked like a bagel.
I know. Yeah. We made fun of people. The rock stars interviewed a guy that was asleep.
I took a bite of a hamburger from a stranger from the north.
I tried to explain to her, these people absolutely love. This is like their hobby.
That's right.
Their other love in life. So it'd be the same as these people, coming to an SEC football game and interviewing football fans.
They would make fun of
out.
us, yeah. What's this old cat dressed up as here that we're about to start? Do you know? Does anybody know?
Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
Did you know that just seeing him?
Yeah.
Because Maddie did too. I'm like,
he keeps a notebook in his belt. I mean, everybody does that.
Assumed it was a Star Wars character.
Mortal Kombat's a video game, right?
That's right.
All right. Hit the tape, Rockstar.
Who is Nick Saban? He used to be the Alabama football coach.
Do you know Nick Saban?
I do.
I haven't been integrated into the Alabama culture well enough.
Nick Saban was a superhero. Who would he closely resemble?
I would say, I'm not for sure. I would say more like Batman, because how serious he is.
That's not bad.
People of Gotham.
Build your own saber. The lightsaber, one of the great weapons in cinema history, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do these things actually work?
You guys are not on the list. So Jim and Ryan were here though this morning.
Okay, good. We're good. We're leaving anyway.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Well, that's going to do it. ComicCon 2024 seems like somewhat of a success. We learned some stuff about different universe we didn't know anything about. We did get thrown out though, so kind of an abbreviated stay. Their marketing, whoever events planner came and chunked us out. We'll tell that story on the next round. But all in all, good stuff here at ComicCon 2024.
Does that T-shirt, go back to the T-shirt, does your T-shirt say I only fly solo?
Yeah.
Like Han Solo?
Yeah, look at the Millennium Falcon down there.
Where did you have that T-shirt?
So when I brought up, hey, you want to go down to Comic-Con, Maddie was like, let me get some T-shirts out. She's got a lot of
She's
Star
got
Wars
that
t-shirts.
T-shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see how quick she rolled me and you under the? Well, Jim and Ryan were in here earlier.
Yeah. Well, that was my next question. Were we on the list?
No, I don't know.
We had to act like we knew what we were doing. There's a lot, I don't know if we've got the other content out. I ran into a full night. Like this dude,
Bobby?
he's been training for 4 years. He was a squire. He dabbles in chainmail. I mean, he went into everything.
So, Lance,
weapon of choice.
Does this guy really think he's a knight, or he's just playing a character?
No. He's a full-time knight.
No, he 100% thinks he's a knight.
Like somebody went.
Yeah, on both shoulders and on his head.
To him?
Yeah, I mean, we have good questions out there, like if you had to stay a night at the Death Star or the Four Seasons. Why the dude from X-Men's in a wheelchair? I mean, we did
the dude.
Yeah, we did a deep dive.
Check it out at Next Round Live on all of our platforms there. All right, 4 Downs every day brought to you by our friends at Slice LT. Brownie, why don't you tell us about Slice?
Oh, Slice Birmingham. Used to be 4 great locations. While we call it 4 Downs, there's 5 great locations now. You can see them all at slicebirmingham.com. The Bajalia brothers just put out some of the most original pizzas you will ever eat, from the Hot Mama, which we all love here, to the Soul Pie, which is my favorite, the Wing and a Prayer. It's the vision of Jeff Bajalia, and he was a great friend of all of ours. Passed away way too soon, but his brothers have taken the ball and run with it. SliceBirmingham.com. If you want the best pizza you can get around here, SliceBirmingham.com.
First down.
More total touchdowns in 2024. Tyler Shuck recently transferred to Louisville, or Peyton Thorne, Auburn?
By the way, Peyton Thorne on the show tomorrow. There might be a team we talk about tomorrow in our 40 and 40 that involves Peyton Thorne, or they might not.
Oh, Michigan State's this high?
It could be. You never know, Jim. More touchdowns, you asked?
Total touchdowns.
I think I'll go Tyler Shuck.
Not with that offense I saw at the end of the year. I think I will go Peyton Thorne.
Brahm's a really good offensive coach. Not that Hugh Freeze is not. Hugh Freeze is. That's a tough one.
I would feel good about Tyler Shuck, unless he gets injured, of course.
Yeah, injury changes all of this, but I'll go Tyler Shuck.
Second down.
College.
I would go Steak, but it would blow up the chat room if I went Steak Peyton Thorne.
Yeah, absolutely it would.
I will not.
If you want to do it off record.
I'll save the Auburn fans.
College football playoff appearance first. Louisville or Kansas State?
I mean, Kansas State, all they've got to do is win the Big 12 to get in, and they could do that easily this year. I don't think Louisville will win the ACC this year.
It's a great point. I don't like the way you said all they have to do. I mean, Big 12 is going to be very competitive.
It
it's
is,
much
but I'm just saying
deeper
a conference champion automatically is in. All you have to do is win your conference to get in. Is what I meant by that. I wasn't trying to disparage the Big 12.
Yeah, I think, I just thought maybe you were playing up to Taylor Tannenbaum, who still may be watching, and you were trying to, make the Big 12 sound less than the ACC. Well, a lot of depth in the Big 12. Not as much depth in the ACC, but I think the ACC teams at the top is better than they are at the Big 12.
I agree completely.
The ACC likely to get 2 teams in this year. Big 12 likely to get 1 team in. I think Kansas State can make it this year. They're good enough to do it. Yeah.
It's tougher at the top in the ACC, but I think the depth in the Big 12. But I think Kansas State can win that conference this year.
Buckle up, Avery Johnson, maybe the better quarterback. They kept him.
Not
Will Howard. Avery Johnson all
Could
season
be.
long.
I mean, his ability to run, man.
Where's the Kansas State Utah game?
That game's going to be...
Do they play in the regular season?
I think so.
In Manhattan.
Nope, they don't play in the regular season. So the first time they could meet, they could be the 2 best teams in that conference, not meet until the conference championship.
Could be in Arlington.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Third down.
Jay says ACC getting 2 teams in. Are we talking about men's basketball?
So just because I heard this debated today, and like it has become a story, better ultimately who had the ultimate career because he's not done yet. Eli Manning or Aaron Rodgers?
For some reason I saw that debate.
Which I thought on the surface sounds so dumb. I know Eli's got 2.
Was that on one of the talk shows this morning? I saw it somewhere.
It was in studio a minute ago.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has got 1. Aaron Rodgers got 3 MVPs. Aaron Rodgers, night and day better quarterback than Eli Manning.
He is, and I guess they were just saying because Eli Manning won 2 in New York, and they count more in New York.
Who do you think has thrown for more yards between the two?
Aaron Rodgers, right?
I would think, but I mean, I need to know games played.
I was on average, right? On average, right?
No, this is total yards.
Okay.
231 games played for Aaron Rodgers, and Eli Manning has played 236. It's almost identical.
And Eli Manning has more passing yards, you're telling me?
Aaron Rodgers does, but only by a couple thousand. Now, he'll
a couple thousand?
Well, 2,000. When you're talking about 59,000 to 57,000, that's not that big a gap, really.
But 2,005 games, I mean, that's 500
and it's going to exponentially increase in all likelihood this year. I mean, Aaron Rodgers probably throws, if he stays healthy, for 4,500 yards this year?
That does seem like a lot, though. He's played 5 less games and thrown for 2,000 more yards.
I mean, it's not a lot when you consider that one's at 59,000, one's at 57,000. I'm not doing yards per game. I'm doing total yards.
Yeah.
Total yards. I mean, it's not that big a gap when it's that big of a number.
I think Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, it's 9th and 10th all time. I mean, they're one spot separated.
Aaron Rodgers at one point in discussion to be the best he's been the MVP before, best quarterback in the league. Eli Manning was never considered the best quarterback in the league.
Oh, I think if Aaron Rodgers was to win a Super Bowl in New York over the next year or two, I think you can make an argument his career is better than Peyton Manning's.
You know what's crazy? Again, I was up late. I've said that about
you all
7.
Agree?
Better than Peyton Manning's?
If he used to win one with the Jets. Because if he's to do that, it's not going to be Peyton Manning with the Broncos.
Now, Peyton Manning threw for 71,000 yards, so it's going to be hard.
Big difference.
Yeah.
I was up, and I forget about this. I said too many times that I was up late last night.
Were you?
But I flipped on the NFL Network.
Did you still get here early this morning?
Yeah, they were replaying the 2009 NFC Championship game. Young Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call in New Orleans at the Superdome. Do you know who they were playing? Minnesota Vikings. Who was the quarterback?
What year?
2009.
Brett Favre.
Yeah. Brett Favre was the quarterback. And it was 28-28 late in that game. 4 minutes to go in the game.
They could have. I think he had did he throw a pick late?
Oh,
didn't Favre throw a pick?
Adrian Peterson fumbled a Gatorade cup on the sidelines. He couldn't hold on to anything that day. He fumbled twice. They fumbled 5 times, lost 2 of them.
Yep, he was almost to the Super Bowl.
Favre threw away 1 interception and almost led the Minnesota Vikings to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Roman Harper, by the way, a beast in that game.
He was.
He was a beast in that game.
By the way, Eli Manning's 5-year wait is over this year for the Hall of Fame. First ballot?
Yes.
I think so, too.
I mean, if he wasn't a Manning, maybe not.
You say that, but he's top 10 all-time passing with 2 Super Bowl rings. I don't know. I don't care what his last name was. Top 10 all-time passer with 2 Super Bowl rings? You don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I do think it helps, though, that he's on the Manning cast and all of that stuff.
I don't think it matters what your last name is. If you've got that resume, top 10 all-time passer.
In my America,
it
doesn't either, but in reality, it does.
But I don't think Eli Manning is a top 25 quarterback of all time.
He may not be. I'm just going by numbers. I mean, those numbers are hard to argue when he is a top 10 all-time passer and has 2 Super Bowl rings.
I mean, he's getting in, no doubt.
Oh, there's no doubt.
4th down.
Angelina Jolie is 49 years old today. Ultimately better career, Angelina Jolie or Joel Embiid?
Oh, that sounded almost alike.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Angelina Jolie's best role.
Oh, Laura Croft Tomb Raider.
I was going to say that. Is that true?
No, Girl Interrupted.
Also a video game, right?
Another Girl Interrupted.
Not Girl Interrupted.
The psychotic game.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That was a big role.
She was in, was it Wanted?
What was the one
She's done a lot of crap movies.
She's been a director. She directed Unbroken.
Who was the one she was in with?
Denzel Washington?
No, there was another one. The
Bone Collector.
Yeah. No, hang on. I'll think of it in a minute.
Was she in The Fugitive?
She was not.
She was in a movie called Gia, too, about an HBO movie. She won a Golden Globe. She's had a really good career.
She's behind the camera now. She's producing and directing a lot of stuff. I don't think she's starring anymore.
Original Sin, says Jace.
Who is the male lead in that? That's what I'm trying to remember.
It's a good family movie.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Antonio Banderas. That's the one I was thinking of. And wasn't that the one where there was that she was still wearing Billy Bob Thornton's blood in that one, and everybody was like, there was a rumor her and Banderas had something going, and they're like, well, she's wearing a vial of Billy Bob Thornton's blood. You know?
I just remember the funniest, not funny, but everybody was like, Brad Pitt's about to film this movie with Angelina Jolie. Jennifer Aniston needs to worry. And everybody's like, oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's cool.
That's all I took.
As quick as it could happen. Yep.
All right. I'm going to go Angelina Jolie over Joel Embiid.
I am too. I just don't think Embiid can hold up.
Embiid disappears late in games. Angelina Jolie's still there.
Get into slice and a salad, 5 locations, Brown. Help me out.
SliceBirmingham.com, and those 5 locations are all amazing. SliceBirmingham.com.
Yeah.
We do have a little bit of breaking news, by the way. It's not huge.
Okay. Is it able to wait, or is it worth doing right now?
I mean, it's up to
Is it going to be a long discussion after the breaking news?
Nope. It's the date. It's the date of Alabama's game against Illinois in Birmingham. For those that want to go ahead and plan ahead.
Well, usually it's around my birthday on December 17th.
Birthday?
December 17th, usually around my birthday.
It is going to be November 20th. This is
nowhere close to my birthday.
It's one of the earlier CM Newton Classics we've had, and it's because Arizona had to reschedule. So I think they've had to maneuver the date just a little bit. That game is normally played well into December, and it's going to be in early November. I'm looking for Alabama's at Oklahoma that day.
That frees up
that week.
That frees up Legacy Arena for maybe another college basketball game in December.
Who would be in that one, Jim?
Between the SEC championship and Christmas Day.
Yeah. Who would be in that one?
I'm going to let them break that story, Brian.
Yeah. November 20th is the date of that game. That is a Wednesday. It's between Mercer and Oklahoma for Alabama fans. That's a pretty good spot for it right there.
Yeah. Coming off you take your kids to the game
That's right.
and a road game. That's a good game.
Yeah, midweek game down in Birmingham. And as excited as Alabama fans will be for this team, that's a pretty good spot right there.
That's right. November 15th, home to Purdue, and
that's
then
right.
November 20th, neutral site with Illinois. That's a tough week.
Yeah, Bama playing for the Big Ten title early on.
Hope they have a deep roster. Oh, wait.
Wait, they do, huh?
They do.
Yeah.
All right. Show also today being brought to you by the great folks at Michelson Laser Vision. Brownie, tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, Lance right over here. I mean, he was basically legally blind. He couldn't see me in Dunaway back in the day.
I'm over here, Lance.
I know. We had to wave
Follow
at him all
my
the time.
voice.
And he was like, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. So he went and got that fighter pilot vision from Michelson Laser Vision. 969-8100. Call Amy. Tell her I want Lance's fighter pilot vision. That's what I want in life is Lance's fighter pilot vision. They will do an evaluation and see if LASIK surgery is right for you. If so,
Amy,
it can change your life.
Amy?
MichelSonLaserVision.com or 205-969-8100.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone, the New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Trash in just a second. Brownie's going to fill in for Brownie reading that.
I'm filling in for Lance.
What did I say?
Brownie's going to fill in for Brownie.
Yeah, that'd be hard to do.
It would be. I'm impossible to replace with me.
The Carolina Panthers Stadium, you like it or don't like it?
I don't. It's got zero soul.
Yeah.
It
looks like a team, and they have been an expansion team forever ago, but it looks like a team that's got an expansion stadium.
It's one of the most boring franchises out there. Like, their uniform is boring to me. It feels like their product is all too often boring. There were some moments with Cam. They've been to a Super Bowl. The stadium is boring. It's the NFC South a lot of times is boring to me. No offense to the Bucks and the Falcons.
I personally think they've overachieved as an organization. They've had more success in the last 25, 30 years than the Vikings, the Bills.
Before you play the video, if I said the city of Charlotte, if they agree, will pay $650 million, and then Tepper, the owner, will pay $680 million, do you think they're getting a totally new stadium?
They can't. That's only 1.3 billion, close to a 1.2.
Not a high end one. Not a high end one for that.
So 1.3 billion is not enough for a good stadium.
What was SoFi? $5 billion?
Yeah, and think about SoFi started their construction before 2020. Like, costs are up so much now.
Yeah, no, I
650 from the city of Charlotte, 680 million from Tepper, just to upgrade their stadium. They're going to keep the same one. They're going to put some lighting and cosmetics on the outside.
That'll fix it.
And fireworks over the top.
All that outside glassing and everything just to make the fan experience better. But it's still going to be the same old stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot better. But again, this is just a rendition that has a lot of
it's just a boring
graphics.
When they play college games in there, it's a boring stadium. It's got no soul to
I've
it.
never spent any time in Charlotte. I hear it's a good, fun town.
Yeah,
I got nothing against
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
I would think they've got a good fan base.
They're going to do that little lawn section or something they're calling it up there. $1.2 billion just basically to dress it up, put new curtains and carpet in the place.
This is Coleman Coliseum.
I don't know. There are times I'm happy that I don't live in a professional sports town.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird, though. Like, Atlanta just built stadiums left and right. I mean, like, Turner Field was how old when they built Truist?
1995.
It started in 96, right after the Olympics.
Built in 95 for the 96 Olympics.
And then they go build Truist Park in another part of town. The Georgia Dome wasn't that old, and they built Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like, how is Atlanta able to build all these stadiums all the time? And something like Charlotte's like, yeah, we got to
still got Olympic money.
We still got to spend $1.2 billion just to polish this turd we got.
Yeah. All right, it's time for Trash. It is brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Hit it, Rockstar.
So, what was your inspiration for tonight? Be honest with me and go into detail.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
It is buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they're here to help. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. Call 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. It sounds like I'm running out of gas.
I know. I do. I feel like
you're
near the finish line.
Yeah,
sure. Keith asked in the chat room, did the Panthers scour the internet and find Brad Bell? Could you imagine what Brad could do with $1.2 billion?
It'd be a lot less than $1.2 billion.
Oh, you give him $1.2 billion, you have 3 stadiums.
It's coming out Friday, by the way.
Is it good? Yeah. Oh, I need an update on that. All right, I've got a long-standing stance on this first story here. A New York City couple were magnet fishing with magnets. You could do that in lakes and rivers and I guess in the ocean as well.
Can you really?
Yeah. You just I've seen it done. You throw a magnet in there and you reel it in and you just got all kinds of crap attached to it. And you never know where you might find this value.
Not fish, but junk.
No, it's for junk. You're looking for junk.
Cheap way to fish.
Yeah, cheap way to fish. Well, they got more than they bargained for. They pulled out a safe that had $100,000 cash inside.
Oh, cash is king.
James Kane and Barbie Agostini tossed in a line with a strong magnet attached to the end and a lake in Flushing Meadows Corona Park in Queens, May 31st. On a Friday afternoon, they pulled back a safe. They opened the safe, found the cash, bundles of $100 bills, estimated value of $100,000. The money was, in fact, damaged by the water.
Here's what I would ask. Why do we even know about this?
Why
These
go public?
Two
Idiots.
Kept the money
and
but never said a word.
Boy, looking at that money, though, I don't know.
Yeah, is that usable money?
Is the bank going to take it?
Possibly.
They said they were allowed to. The police said there's no crime attached to it, and they're allowed to keep it. But I don't. If it's damaged, like, where are you going to do it?
Well, I think it's got to be. It can be damaged as much as 90 or as much as 10%. Is it 90% that's got to be good or something like that?
They got to be able to get to both serial numbers. I think.
Okay.
That looks like our man Sterling with the WWF.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
And those are new $100 bills, so this is not an old safe.
That is correct, Rockstar. Very astute assessment by Rockstar there.
So there's no crime attached. What happened?
I want to know the story behind this.
Yeah. See, again, as I've always said, if you find money out in public, leave it. Somebody's watching that money. They weren't necessarily watching this money, but there's somebody that knows this money. There's a safe with $100,000 that we're missing.
I think this is a little different, though.
I would never have said a word. I'd have kept it, Lance.
Like if
I
I
wouldn't have said a word.
If I got $25,000 cash, how do I even get that into my checking account? Do you just take it to your bank and say, "Here, this is my checking account"?
But they're going to flag anything over $10,000.
Yeah. So you make small, non-sequential deposits on different days.
$10 every day.
Well, you wouldn't go $10 every day, but you would go always under $10,000. Do like one day $8,953 and then wait 8 days and do $7,138 and then wait 6 days. Just change everything up.
Have you done this?
Our second story, a man stole a liquor truck in hope of selling off booze to pay for a drug debt. That's the headline. That's our headline here on this story, okay?
I like it.
This is from Muncie, Indiana. An accused thief in Indiana told Muncie police officers he was sitting in his car when he spotted a delivery truck full of beer and liquor pull up outside of Cheers Bar. It sounds like a ripoff.
It does not look the same as
Sam and Diane in there, Rockstar?
Yeah, we're going to sit down at the picnic table outside again.
All right, Normie. A plan reportedly came to his mind. If I steal the truck, sell the booze, I can pay off my drug debts. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right?
Does, yeah.
It did not go as intended. Bo Burchell, he's a 39-year-old out of Gaston, Indiana, was found by police officers hiding in a brush line near an area mobile home community. According to the police, he was successful in swiping the truck full of booze, but they spotted the truck in a field behind the Shriners Club.
Yeah. Why would you go to a place where everybody knows your name?
God. That's actually pretty good, though. I like it. As police arrived on the scene, officers spotted Burchell, defined as the man with a ponytail, shocker, running into a woodline near the edge of the cornfield. They found him hiding under the bush. Officers say he reportedly admitted to swiping the truck as part of a ploy to pay off his drug debts. He hoped to unload the liquor and beer from inside the truck and sell it. Police say the alcohol was still in the back of the truck, valued to be more than $12,000.
Okay, just think about what you're... Okay, say it's successful. Where am I going first to sell this beer and liquor?
Right. I mean, that's the question, right? I mean,
am I going to other bars? Like,
yeah, that's one of those where you steal it and then you start thinking it through and you're like, boy, I have screwed up here.
Just neighborhoods.
Yeah.
That's when you start drinking it, like 1,112 one day.
Yeah.
Maybe 2,162 another.
Maybe they're doomsday prepping.
Yeah, you want to have beer in the future.
Yeah.
Like in Lost, that beer still drink good.
But the Dharma beer?
Yeah.
Completely just black and white can, just like the old generic brands.
All right, we're going to go to Maryland here. I think I'm just reading the headline. This story may create some controversy.
Football and crab cakes.
I think we're going to have a discussion on this one. Or is this photo supported, Rockstar?
Yeah, I'm going to wait.
Okay, wait, let me read it,
Yeah.
So, Boonesboro High School in Maryland, a student was not allowed to participate at her graduation ceremony Tuesday night because of concerns surrounding
her wardrobe.
Almost her makeup. The 18-year-old and her family were quote-unquote heartbroken on their big day. Her name is Nix, N-I-X-X. I've never seen that name.
Oh, I hope she's dressed like Ace Frehley.
Nix Cabrera Guy, an aspiring piercer and tattoo artist. Aspiring
You
piercer.
think parents named her after Nikki Sixx and just combined it?
Potentially.
Stevie Nicks and Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, there you go.
Aspiring means you're not good at it, right?
She was the you're not.
It
you're not being
ain't
paid.
a job yet. Yeah.
She was the first person on her father's side of the family to get a high school diploma. So this is a big moment for her family.
I love first-generation graduation stories.
And she was told by her principal that she had to remove her makeup or she could not sit with her fellow students or walk on stage during the ceremony.
Okay, this is going to have to be clown-like,
I am
over
going
the top for me.
It's going to have to be demonic.
I am on her side before I see the photo.
I am on her side, yes.
All right, Rockstar photo. Okay, I'm probably going to go with the principal there.
No,
Well, she's got her cleavage out too.
I mean, that's
First off,
I'd let her. I mean, if she. Here's the thing. Do you agree with this? If she went to every class looking like that this year and graduated, and you allowed her to come into school looking like that, then she should be able to walk. If this is just a one-off, no.
I mean, people are bedazzling the top of their graduation hats and putting things on there. And
Dabo's doing that to footballs.
Bedazzling footballs, and people are protesting things at graduations in high school and college these days.
And she's on stage for what, 5 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've created a bigger issue
As
now.
long
Now,
as-
I know what they're thinking is, of course, this is only going to escalate from here.
If nobody is harmed by those nails in her getting a diploma,
claws.
then
I really
would let her
don't.
walk.
I sit outside with the principal. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't know if you guys had this in your school, but I'll never forget. I was in the middle school, but I remember they did a big story at Homewood High School, and this one girl had come to school with pink hair. And these people were up in arms, and they sent her home.
Yeah,
and so,
crazy.
like, all of the camera crews came on. Now, this is back in the late 80s, but still, I was just like, I cannot believe the deal we're making over this.
Yeah, you've created a bigger issue here, and you're probably going to create a lawsuit at some point. And I am always fascinated at where we draw lines. Like, if she just did the lips and the piercing, are we okay? If she only did half her face of white, are we okay? It's someplace you got to draw the line, because she could point back and say, well, Susie over there's got on a ton of makeup. Have you seen her without makeup on? She looks awful.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I'm on her side.
Yeah, let her graduate.
Yeah.
Again, I do
She
want
earned
to
the degree.
Do you know, Rocky, whether or not she was going to school like this all year?
It says she was. Yeah, but no,
really?
I think this is a little done up. I think she went special for the graduation.
Yeah, but I think most people are probably getting hair and makeup done to another level
She
for
said this
graduation.
look was more toned down than some of her other looks she has worn to school events. She said.
Events is a different story.
Where she paints intricate details on the top of white makeup.
I mean, technically, this is a school event.
I don't know, man. I think I'm on her side here.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Let her walk.
I mean, I wouldn't personally, as a parent, wouldn't let my daughters do this, but I'm not her parent, so I can't say that.
I saw her at ComicCon.
I bet you did.
Did you tell her she couldn't walk? Don't you walk in there with
What
that
are you
makeup?
doing at a school event?
I mean, it's like her nails. I cannot stop looking at her nails. It's like Edward Scissorhands.
Do you think if she just got you right in the eye with a straight poke?
Oh, jeez.
Like, what if you're her boyfriend?
Yeah.
I think more concerns than the
Ted
nails.
Nugent wrote a song about that, Dunaway.
Really?
Rocky?
Catch scratch fever. He's only one.
All right, we are going to go to China next. This realtor is giving us a look at what they're calling a dystopian building. 20,000 residents can live inside this building and never need to go outside.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
It looks awful.
Never need to go outside?
Never need to go outside, Jim. It includes everything from gyms to supermarkets to swimming pools, hairdressers. The building can accommodate up to 30,000 residents. Housing right now, 20,000. They've got a massive food court, barber shops, nail salons. Good for our last guest there.
I'll tell you what would be cool is this 24/7. If it's 24/7, living somewhere like that'd be pretty neat.
I mean, I'm going to leave.
You live
but,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if supermarkets and bars and, you can get your hair cut whenever.
It's weird. I was up late last night. Downtown at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, is it crazy down there?
Watching 2009
I never
football.
knew Owls was 24 hours a day.
Who's?
There's a
Owls Crossroads?
No, this is
I
like
don't think so, Tim.
There's a Greek food place right next to the UAB. Some of the dorms down there.
Yeah. I thought it was 3 a.m., but
it said 24 hours on the sign. And then I'm coming back. The line at 2 a.m. at Whataburger out here on 280.
It's incredible.
It was 7 deep.
I know. Only place.
7 cars in line at 2
So
a.m.
when you're driving around at 2 a.m. and you got to get up early, where was Maggie?
She was asleep. I had to drag the son down for the flight.
The larger apartments have a balcony, and some outdoor space. They're only $550 a month. Now you're living in China, so you're living in communism.
China.
I mean, can I give you $550,000 a month to live there?
No, not to live in China. These apartments that are on the inside without windows, no window apartments, only $220 a month. It's a deal.
No window
Smaller.
apartments.
Yep.
Never go outside.
That's right.
You'll end up looking like the girl without makeup.
Yep. The building has estimated the builders have estimated the building keeps about 2,000 cars off the street, which is important to the Chinese apparently. Finally, we go to New Jersey here. Roni Bill thought her prayers had been answered when she hit the jackpot on the Wheel of Fortune slot machine at Bally's Atlantic City Hotel Casino.
Oh, but what happened, Brown?
She's very surprised at what happened next, according to her photo, Jim. I was hoping for $1,000, saying, please, God, let me win, the 72-year-old told 6 ABC Action News. Never in a million years, Jim, did she expect the machine would scream jackpot with one of the fortuitous spins, netting her a life-altering windfall. Are you ready for this? $2.55 million.
By the way, much like I was on the painted girl's side, I'm on this girl's side.
Okay, I haven't heard the whole story.
But wait, she's not going to get it?
Bally's security staff swarmed the crowd celebrating with the New Jersey resident, and after a brief look at the winning machine, they informed her it had suffered a malfunction called, quote, real tilt. Real tilt. You got to be really careful of that.
Real tilt is your problem. Is
yeah,
what I would tell them.
No.
Instead of paying out the $2.5 million, they offered her $350. Sounds
Boom.
fair.
I'll walk away.
Yep. Thank you very much.
I am quickly videotaping this whole conversation.
She claims
as Exhibit A in my court filings.
She claims the casino workers came over to investigate her win, tried to get her to respin, citing a tilt message that showed up when they opened the slot machine. Her attorney, she got an attorney quick, believes they tampered with the machine, which is housed by Bally's but manufactured by another company, to tamper any evidence of the win.
Nope.
I don't care. Here's all I know. You've got surveillance 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
We can pull the tape. We can take a look at this. If it somehow disappears, we're ruling with her.
That's right.
They're going to say it's inside the machine. We don't have tape of the inside the machine.
I know.
That ain't my problem.
It is saying that she tilted it.
Yeah.
And if she did not bump it or anything,
there's security footage of this.
if she didn't bump it or anything, that's a $2.5 million mistake.
Yeah, I've got
by
a
that
feeling
company.
We're going to have an update and she's going to get paid.
Yep.
I hope so, but just imagine just give her $350. Okay, sir, I'll do that.
$350,000. No, offer $350 and free drinks.
As Zach says, that's Pawn Stars-esque negotiation figures.
Best I can do is $350.
I want $2.5 million. I'll give you $350. I got to make my money too.
Whatever happened to her son, the SEC official?
Tom
Ritter?
Yeah, Tom Ritter. Rockstar City.
Holding.
Are you surprised?
She's got Bear Bryant's couch.
That is trash presented
Peter
by
Frampton's hair.
MortgageRight.com/TNR NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender.
And the show being brought to you by Hydra Live as well. LT, you're a big fan of Hydra Live.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you about them, though, Jim. Even though Lance is a big fan. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof right there with Hydra Live. Open daily 9 to 6. 2 great Birmingham locations. Independence Drive in Homewood, Doug Baker Boulevard in Hoover. HydraLiveTherapy.com. Boost your immune system with Hydra Live Therapy. HydraLiveTherapy.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
This hour of the Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Urology Centers of Alabama bringing us the last segment of the show today. I tell you all the time, when you're 20, you don't worry about anything. Then you become in your 30s, and you start to worry a little bit about your long-term health. 40s, 50s, 60s are things you got to worry about. Urology Centers of Alabama can help you with any of that. From prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between, make your appointment today, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. 16 locations. Find the one near you and make that appointment today. I don't know about you guys. I don't like when teams change uniforms. It's okay for the Houston Texans, in my opinion, because they're so new.
Yeah, I don't like these.
They're trying to figure things out.
They've got good colors.
Good colors. 2 new uniforms that are out. C.J. Stroud on the left, little Patriot-esque to me, a lot of red, white, and blue there. A little H-Town uniform to the right with Stephon Diggs, the new wide receiver there in H-Town.
Very UFL on the right.
Yeah, new look uniforms there for Houston.
Are they doing anything with the helmet? Helmet staying the same?
Helmet staying the same. You know, Brownie, when they were announced as a team, they had the white helmet. Yeah. With that logo. Mm-hmm. And then I've seen a red one with that logo.
I hated their red uniforms.
Yeah.
I like the white with that logo. It's a pretty good logo.
Yeah, I don't hate the Texans scheme there. I don't hate it.
It's a great logo.
Yeah, I like the logo. Yeah. That's another stadium I don't like watching games in, though. I don't know what it is about that stadium.
It's a nice stadium, though.
Is it, though? Yeah. But do you like it on TV? It just seems...
maybe it kind of... I'm a little swayed because I've been there.
Yeah.
We're going to get another... When I was a kid, they would do this with track stars. Tennessee would always have one of their track stars play wide receiver.
Willie Gault. Got him in the NFL.
Back when I was a kid. I grew up in the 70s. So Keith Jackson would do a Tennessee game, and then they got a U.S. Olympic sprinter at wide receiver.
Ronaldo Nehemiah was with the 49ers.
Exactly.
Ron Brown was with the Rams. These guys couldn't catch a cold. Willie Gault wasn't bad.
Willie Gault, I mean, he played for the Bears in the NFL. And then they had another guy, Pickens. Do you remember him?
Carl Pickens was a Tennessee guy that was opposite of... where did Carl Pickens play?
Didn't he go to Dallas? Yeah. He went to the Cowboys, yeah.
Only one Olympic gold medalist has ever won a Super Bowl championship. Bob Hayes did it in 1972 with the Dallas Cowboys. The Bills are going to try it differently. Not a speed guy. They're going with Olympic gold medalist, 2-time NCAA wrestler Gable Stevenson as a defensive tackle.
6'1", 285. I will say this. He's going to have the quickness, the athleticism. He'll have leverage. He'll have a lot of skill set that would blow people away at combines. He has zero football experience. We'll see if this works out. I'll tell you this. He tried out for the WWE, and he got
kicked out of the WWE.
Yeah, was it because of athleticism, or he couldn't act?
I really don't know.
He couldn't sell the part?
But I would think making the NFL is going to be a little bit more difficult.
Oh, I would agree. But, I mean, he does have a lot that you would like about this. Like Lance said, he's clearly got quickness. He knows how to get guys to the ground. Can he do it within the rules?
All the way back in the day, defensive linemen started to take, martial arts.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that,
to learn the leverage part of it. So wrestling would fit into that. It'll be interesting to watch when the Bills mandatory camp opens up June 11th through June 13th.
Tommy Pham still takes all that stuff, right?
I think he does.
Yeah.
Boy, he did not like...
Forrester would know this.
Yeah, Tommy Pham got fired off.
He was ready to fight.
He was ready to go.
I don't know what was said after the collision, but
he didn't like it.
Wasn't that big of a collision.
No, he did not like what was said, though, because he was ready to fight.
Do you know what was said to him to get him so upset?
I do not know what was said, but I know he comes there to F some dudes up.
Yeah, he was ready to do that, Scott. There is no doubt.
Update on Tua Tagovailoa. They're expecting his deal later this summer. Are you anxious about this deal, or it's going to happen for your Dolphins?
I know it's going to happen, so I'm not really anxious about it.
What do you think average? 48, 50 million?
I don't think it'll be, it should be what Trevor Lawrence got.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So, have you seen the numbers? I saw the reports today.
No, if it's Trevor Lawrence, that means it's going to be more than Goff and just less than Joe Burrow.
So it's going to be 50 million.
When Christian Wilkins, they had to let Christian Wilkins walk, and you're seeing why now, because they've had to pay, they've already paid Tyreek Hill. They're having to pay Jalen Waddle almost number one receiver money, basically. And Tua's going to get he's easily going to get top 10 quarterback money, if not top 5 quarterback money.
After former LSU star Justin Jefferson got his contract earlier this week with the Vikings, Brandon Ayuk, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb are their next wide receivers expecting to get big deals. According to those close to CeeDee Lamb in Dallas, he expects a contract equal to or more than Justin Jefferson. You think Jerry Jones will pay it?
I don't know if Jerry Jones will pay it, but CeeDee Lamb...
I wouldn't.
He's not close to Justin Jefferson.
He's really, really good. I think CeeDee is a top 5 to 10.
I was going to say top 5. I wouldn't say he's not close to Justin Jefferson. I'd take Justin Jefferson. CeeDee Lamb's a really good receiver.
He's a top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
He deserves a lot of money. He doesn't deserve that money.
Jerry Jones is all of a sudden being painted into a corner by CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons.
And Jerry ain't got much time left, so he's got to make some decisions.
That's 3 players who need a new contract right now, and they're all best at their position, or one of the best. They're going to require a lot of payment from Jerry Jones down in Big D. A little NFL to wrap up the show today, full with a lot of college football for you here as we're 81 days away from week 0 of the college football season. Don't forget the Meltdown, our pop culture podcast, starts at 2 o'clock Central live today. Our new Uncorked and our new Pennant Grace dropping on all of our platforms at Disrupt the Media. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.